We all go a little mad sometimes.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
They're here.
What's up, Vagiso?
Hey, gay.
Hi,
gay.
let's just
Happy
say,
Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month. Let's just say, period. This movie is like a 100% on the Rotten Tomatoes score for me.
1,000%.
I fucking,
Yeah.
I fucking.
Right, listen.
So it's Pride Month.
We are sashaying away
With Diaz. So fucking stupid. I also, no joke, think that she's like absolutely like giving cunt in that like video though.
Yeah,
The long
she does the
braids
whole
and stuff. Yeah.
thing with her braids.
At the butter shop.
And if you can prove you do butt stuff, we'll give you 3.
Yeah. Don't you think that they would like it for gay stuff?
Also, and if you do butt stuff,
If you can prove you're queer, you get 30% off.
like, here's my question. You know, queer person.
You
meaning
rang.
you.
Yeah.
Do tell, how do you prove that you are queer, or do you just exist and are queer?
So if you'd like it.
I feel I am queer, therefore I am.
So if you'd like it, sucking a dick doesn't make you gay, but sucking a dick and really enjoying it does. You know?
Well, I mean, yes.
Like, the gays don't have exclusive rights over sucking dick, but we do
Well,
have
I
to
mean-
enjoy it a lot more than I feel like most straight women do.
This is true. There's autofellatio. I mean, there's always one way to go.
Yeah, gays are born with one less rib. You know?
Evolution has helped, you know?
We were not made from Adam. We were made from the other one. The snake on the tree. On the tree. I said Melina.
See what I'm doing with the soundboard? I'm getting those feels in. You know?
You're making gay people into aliens now, is
I
it?
fucking am.
Scully, look out, he's gay. That sounds like it was recorded in, like, a wind tunnel. That's like it was recorded in a can of Coke. Like, what the fuck is that? That was
Wow.
recorded in, like, a hostage situation.
You know what?
No,
Fuck
it
off.
sounds like you recorded that. It sounds like her on the other end is holding a cup up, like a Dixie cup, with a piece of string. And that's how you got that sound.
How dare you?
If you guys could see what I look like right now.
Loretta.
I want to be a woman.
You can't be a woman, you don't have a womb!
I want to have babies.
You can't have babies!
That's what I'd like to have the right to. So that was
Doesn't make any sense!
I was given
And it's nobody's fault, not even the Romans.
The People's Front of Judea.
The
Oh,
front
we're the
of people.
Judea's People Front. I would love to find a way to do the Monty Python movies, but no.
Yeah,
So-
it's not going to happen.
No, never.
not
I wouldn't
gonna
even
happen.
propose it. But
You know what we are going to propose, though? Happy Pride Month!
Happy Pride Month. That
We're
was
back again.
such an intro. So,
Back again.
we're rolling the gay out.
We're doing what most companies sell out during this month.
We're
We're
gonna
going
end the podcast.
full on pride flag.
We're going to
in
end the
wind.
podcast June 1st.
Coke
I go
bottles,
back in.
Skittles.
You know,
Yeah,
I take my
exactly.
wig off.
You put on the suit and tie, you turn
Yeah.
into Patrick Bateman outside of June.
So, today we're doing Jennifer's Body.
Jenny.
I am
Jenny not
so
from the block.
fucking excited to talk about this movie.
Yeah, you've been waiting for a while.
I really have. It's literally one of my favorite movies of like all time.
Nearly 3 years since we started this podcast, and you've been like, I don't know how many times we've had a conversation about having this
It's
as,
been in the
as a
running,
movie.
and it always comes up when we think of like International Women's Month or
Pride
gay.
Month.
Yeah. I don't know though. I do think that this is a very queer movie though.
I do as well. I think that it's sort of like in the vein of something like The Lost Boys, where it's not overtly homosexual in a sense that
except for one scene.
except for one scene, and it's not. This isn't overtly shall we say, lesbian adjacent.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a film where it's just like, oh, we're queer about it, but it's a film where we're queer. Oh, we never actually did the intro to this one. God damn it!
It's a special episode.
We'll never do it correct. We will never ever get it fucking correct.
No. It's very on brand for gay shit, though.
But it's definitely something that, like, I'm going to say the queer community can identify with in a strange way.
But it permeates the whole movie, though.
Yeah.
Like, even outside of... I think this is queer
You
in the
didn't
same...
put the lemon in it.
I figured it would, like, muddy up the bottle.
What does that even
I'm
mean?
gay. You can't talk to me like this.
You get to use that one more time and then I punch you in the throat.
Martha P. Johnson did not die and get thrown in a river so you could fucking talk to me like this.
That was at Stonewall and people were
People
killed.
were killed. Nobody was
Nobody
killed.
was...
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
People...
Derek.
Hey, Derek. But, yeah, I feel like this is kind of queer in the same way, like...
Go
yeah,
on.
like Lost Boys kind of is, where it's like there's very definitely...
An undertone.
There's an undertone, but then also it always pushes, like, right up against...
Yeah.
You know, and also in my mind, this is gonna sound so SJW, but like in my mind, women are like inherently queer for some reason. But like this is like a relationship movie between Jennifer and Needy.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
It's
like
a grow-up relationship between the two of them.
It is. They're very
that's how I
definitely
see it.
kind of a couple in a way.
I definitely would agree. I think that there's a part of this that's kind of like a growing up lesson, as well as exploring one's sexuality in a strange way. And I mean, like, apart from the humor, I also think there's some very serious undertones to the film as well.
Yeah, it's actually really sad.
It is actually really, really sad, and it's quite an intense movie in some scenes. Even like just outside of like the whole kind of supernatural aspect to it, I mean, like, there is murder in it. There is a ritual sacrificing. There is dealing with grief and death in improper ways and proper ways.
And the growing apart of friendships.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the whole thing. I was always obsessed with that line.
The fact that
like,
she's called Needy, like
the line that like sandbox love never dies. I was like obsessed with that when this movie came out. Just because I'm like very serious about my friendships and stuff. Like, we've been friends for like 20 years.
Don't reveal how old I am.
But see, it was actually very inappropriate because you were already 30 by the time I met you when I was a child.
Oh.
But for real, I'm like very serious about my friendships. I've had a lot of friendships for like a very long time. Like, I've known you, Yemi, and Sam and all for like, literally like 20 years. You know.
Sorry, can you drive off, please? Thank you.
The Wicked Witch of the West has arrived or something.
Fucking hell.
Thank
you.
You need to learn how to live in society. But, yeah, it's like very sad because there's like moments where Needy is kind of looking at Jennifer and Jennifer seems to be like ahead of Needy in a lot of ways. Growing up. Yeah. But then also...
backwards as well.
It is also kind of backwards because Jennifer is still very kind of immature.
Yeah, she still very much cares about the image that she has in a societal standard of like being cool and being it sounds weird but hip.
Well, being socially relevant.
Socially relevant,
you know, we don't actually get to see that kind of face crack until the end of the movie where Jennifer is like kind of crumbling, you know what I mean? But also, it's like you feel bad for Jennifer because all this was done against her will. Like, she was quote-unquote high school evil, but like, you still get the sense that her and Nita were like really, really good friends.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And people don't hate her, kind of until she starts becoming a succubus, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I do think there's a sort of a fine line that this film walks between something along the lines of you have an anti-hero and you have a straight up like a murderer. You know, it's walking a fine line between do you feel sorry for them or should you feel sorry for them versus she's like straight up murdering everybody.
But she's a victim.
And she's also like being petty at the same time.
Well, because it's kind of like, is it a vampire situation where it's like, what happens to her if she just doesn't feed whatsoever?
Yeah.
You know, outside of just being like sexy or being beautiful or whatever. Because I love the fact that Nita later is like, and then like when she's hungry, she's like ugly, and she's like, well, like ugly for Jennifer.
Yeah,
You know what I
ugly
mean?
for
It's
Jennifer.
like,
Yeah,
like she
exactly.
still looks like Megan Fox. I actually think she looks way hotter when she's kind of
dark and
gross.
broody. And
It is. I think she looks so much better when she's got like a little bit of a dark circle in her eye and like she's not so primped or whatever. You know, like I feel like the peak of beauty for her in this movie is when she comes out of the lake.
Yeah.
You know, where she's just like barefaced, like hair is all limp and stuff like that. The steam that's like coming off her shoulder and shit. It's like, oh my god, look at her, bro. I don't know. I think the cinematography in this movie too, that's one of the coolest shots from the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's just this like really big kind of panned out like shot of a lake, and then it's just her popping up from the like the blackness, you know, and it gives me this like ancient demon like bathing after a feast kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because this comes like right after, I think her the first attack that we get to see. You know, she goes straight from being in school to eating a boy to just having a little dip in the lake behind school. You know,
who has a lake behind school?
what a succubus. You know,
What a fucking white people thing to have.
this is an almost very exclusively white people movie too,
Yeah, true.
but gay. Okay.
But hey, gay.
Okay, so
Okay.
Jennifer's Body,
Yeah.
written by Diablo Cody, who is in this movie. She's one of the bartenders. Girl movie, written and directed by women. Megan Fox through the female gaze versus through the male gaze. She's not cleaning Diablo Cody's car in this movie, you know? I think we do kind of have, like, differentiating views on Jennifer in this movie. Like, we agree for like 98% of it, but that 2% I feel like comes from something we'll get into.
Yeah, so I think actually that's just a great thing to sort of like address with when it comes to this film. And obviously, like Megan Fox has gotten sort of I want to say the shit end of the stick.
Yeah.
For part of her career, because quite literally Michael Bay just hired her for sex appeal. There kind of wasn't anything. I mean, I know she was outside of things like that, but kind of to the mainstream media, she's kind of
But that's her
only known
breakthrough.
as Transformers, and
As opposed to Cisformers.
exactly. We'll get into that. So, when it comes to her and the way she's portrayed, I do like and sort of also dislike her acting skills, specifically because they've been influenced because of those Transformers movies, and it's kind of just ruined Megan Fox for me in a certain sense, where like, would I hire her or wouldn't I hire her based off of the fact that if I was to look at it from let's say a script writer's or a director's point of view, it's like, am I only hiring her for the sex appeal, or am I hiring her for her acting talents? Because she is a good actress.
She's hilarious. She's
is
a great comedic actress.
Really, really good. And I do think like that should be addressed, because unfortunately, as I said, like traditionally historically she's gotten the shit end of the stick, and it's not fair. It
She's
really
kind of cast
isn't.
as like the bimbo.
Exactly.
or whatever.
She
She's actually got a really cool chick though.
Yeah.
She's actually kind of one of us. She's like kind of a freak or whatever. Like watching this movie when all the dudes she's hitting on and then she hits on Colin, I'm like, Colin's actually her type in real life though. She's actually into like skinny, weird, pale dudes. You know, she's a cool chick, you know? I'd fucking love to hang out with Megan Fox.
Yeah.
I actually know her from Hope and Faith, which was like a sitcom that was on ABC like a million years ago, where she was like the older, I think her name was Bridget in that as well. She was like the older daughter, but she was like funny. And this was like pre-Transformers, so she wasn't like, she was hot, like she's always been beautiful, like she's always looked like that. But like she I don't know, I think of her primarily as a comedic actress versus like a bimbo. Like she was in oh my god, do you remember the Mary-Kate and Ashley movies?
Vaguely.
I think it's like Trip to the Bahamas or whatever like that. She plays like Brianna Wallace. She's like this like spoiled brat, like heiress or whatever, like kind of a Paris Hilton type or whatever, which I think is actually a very good parallel for Megan Fox in real life, kind of a Paris Hilton or like a Marilyn Monroe, where it's kind of like, you're not a dumb blonde, you just play one on TV. You know, like she's actually like really, really smart in real life. Like she's like into a lot of like really, really cool shit, you know? But I don't know, I think if I was going to hire her, I feel like this might kind of sound insulting, I would have her in mind for a specific role. Like, I feel like she
Such
wouldn't
as?
just... I don't know, I feel like I would play her against type. Like, I would have her be kind of, I don't know, like an astrologist or something, like something like really kind of like not what you would expect from Megan Fox, you know? Or something like this, where it's like, have her be fucking creepy. She really pulls it off in this movie. There's one shot that I'm obsessed with, where Needy and Chip are like getting it on or whatever like that, and they see.
Am I too big?
and he's like, hell yeah, you know. But she sees Craig, and then she sees Jennifer like on her
Crouched
on
like
her
a
honkers.
fucking spider.
With exactly, that's exactly what she looks like, and she's just got this grin that is like pulled all the way across her face. Like, I would almost cast her as like a deadite or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
something
Oh, she would do amazing. at
She
that.
kind of low key gives deadite in this movie, though. You know, but also I don't know. There's something. It's hard to see her as a victim, but she like relishes in it so much in this movie. Like, she really enjoys it. You know, there's that scene in the kitchen, right after the attack or whatever, or right after the fire, where she just pulls this smile across her face, and it's like almost this like Joker grin, but it's like her teeth are just red with blood, and it's like, God, she looks so cool. You know, I don't know how much of it's that I love her or how much is like I want to be her. You know what I mean? That's my thing with Baby Spice. I thought I was in love with Baby Spice when I was a kid, and it's like, no, I just straight up wanted to be Baby Spice. You know, I think it was the same for
the blonde.
for Sarah Michelle Gellar as well. I wanted
Yeah.
to be Buffy. I wasn't in love with Buffy. You know. So yeah, let's get into it,
Yeah.
bitch.
Movie. Yeah.
So we open up in an insane asylum. Like,
Yes, this has a great... Now, if... this has a fantastic way of doing a flash forward. Because technically, if you look at it from a point of view, the entire movie is a flashback.
yeah, it's all being
Rather
retold back
than
to you by
It's
Needy.
fantastic. I love the fact that it was done with that, because like, you have absolutely no context as to what's going on, and it doesn't directly lead you into, oh well, I knew what was going on most of the time. Then you know
And it
what I
picks
mean?
up. It's
really
literally
good.
within the same month.
Yeah.
You know, Brad Pitt. Sorry, but it's weird because you kind of.
Hey, gay.
I kind of keep forgetting that like Needy does like narrate the whole movie. Like, there's a lot of like voiceover and stuff. So it is just her telling you her story, and it's all kind of from Needy's perspective. Just from opening this, it's like jumping right back into it. It's like the quotes in this movie, you know, gracias Raimundo, you know, you only ordered one toastum. I like toastums. You know, it's I live for it, and it's like,
And then fucking boots her halfway
I recommend you
across
shut
the
the
room.
fuck up. Oh, it's so good. They write kicker on her thing. You
I'm
know?
pussy bitch.
I live. Now, Amanda Seyfried in this movie also, she's so hot, but she's so funny.
She's nerdy as fuck. But in a strange way, in a strange sense that Amanda Seyfried can't pull off nerdy. I don't think she pulls off the kind of bookworm that she tries to act as.
It is weird because they try and do the like she's all that thing where like they just put her in a ponytail and glasses.
Yeah,
And they're like, look at this state of her, and it's like, it's Amanda Seyfried.
yeah,
Is
it's
Seyfried?
Seyfried. I say Seyfried.
I've
Like
always said
Seyfried and
Seyfried.
Roy. I say Seyfried.
Yeah, but there's a G in that. That's a different name. That's Siegfried and Roy.
Whatever. I don't say Siegfried. I said Seyfried.
But that's not his name.
Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah, but you wouldn't say Amanda Seyfried.
I say Seyfried. Amanda Seyfried.
I know, but those are two different words you're saying.
That's not. How do you spell Seyfried? You illiterate
Amanda?
fuck.
Amanda or the tiger guy? One of them has a G in
See,
it.
I'm confusing you now.
One is SEIGF or EID in Roy.
Because we all know that there's no last
There's
name.
always been contention though. I'm pretty sure she says it one way, but that's not how it is. It's like Timothy Chalamet, where it's like his name is not Timothy, it's Timothée. But he just says Timothy because everybody says Timothy. Whatever. The chick from Mamma Mia. Okay.
Yeah, it was superficial level nerdiness, you know. Give her a cardigan, give her some books, give her some curly hair and a pair of glasses. Like, it doesn't sell me on it, because like it's like when Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, like when she was
Oh
like,
yeah.
like, you're not fucking selling me Michelle
like,
Pfeiffer as a nerd.
Yeah, they
like,
walk into her. She walks into a room in that movie, and they're all like, "Yuck!" You know, and it's like she's just wearing glasses.
she's just wearing glasses.
You
Like,
know?
but I suppose like they're trying to have that like superficial like 80s nerd idea.
It is, because even her prom dress later, she's dressed
like
in this
super
like
pink,
Trixie Mattel
puffy.
Heatherette thing.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I kind of love.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
You know, it's so on brand for her. You kind of get the sense that it's like she made it.
Yeah,
You know, it's kind of a Carrie White thing or whatever. No, Carrie White was actually like really chic though. She literally just had like a silk
satin
slip. That was
silk
gorgeous.
dress. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Jennifer's body. Woo.
No, it's just you just kind of can't pull it off. It's the Michelle Pfeiffer effect. Like, just because you put glasses on her doesn't mean that suddenly, like, you know, you kind of have to convey it more so from like the people around Amanda Seyfried than Amanda Seyfried herself.
Yeah.
Because like if everyone else is convinced that "Ooh, she's a nerd and blah blah, then we are more convinced. But everyone's just kind of like.
She's kind of
She's kind of
hipster-ish,
just.
though.
Everyone just kind of reacts kind of blasé around her. So like
Yeah.
it's kind of like nobody cares, you know.
It is weird. You would expect, because she's like, nobody would expect a loser like me to be friends with a babe like Jennifer. But it's like nobody like is like actively bullying.
Yeah, don't tell me,
Needy or
show me.
anything. Yeah, nobody's like bullying her or anything. But I also do want to say peak 2010, 2009.
I was gonna say 2009.
This
yeah.
is like
It's so
2009. Yeah,
so 2009.
it's so hipster though.
It's
but it
so-
literally made it's like so fuzzy and nostalgic though.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because it's like I have kind of a weird aversion to like the early 2000s for like fashion and stuff like that. Like I still like the music or whatever. But with this, I'm like, this is like when I feel like we started to get like, I don't know, like cooler again. Where it's like everybody's wearing like big thick rimmed glasses and like bowler hats and like emo was a thing. And the soundtrack to this movie,
Yeah,
you know,
it's quintessential.
"She's the girl that I've been dreaming of." Like it's like when it like pops in and Jennifer's like flag twirling and shit like that, you know, you're totally lesbian gay.
What's up, Vagisil? You're totally lesbian gay.
I love it so much, you know. This movie just feels like a big like warm fuzzy blanket of like nostalgia or
You
whatever.
know, those jeans
know?
are so totally low. I can almost see your front.
Your front butt.
Your front butt.
This is my rocker chick look. You know, well I can like see your womb, so it's so stupid. I literally like when this movie came out, I took that personally. Like I made this whole movie my entire personality for like 2 fucking years, you know.
Great. It's
It's written so fucking well. Like every
we have stuff in
scene
common.
has so
That's
many
why we're
singers.
biffs.
You know, and it's weird because I had these friendships and stuff, and like to an
Yeah.
extent I still do. You know, where it's like
wow, Jesus.
no, but it's like I would consider like that's what me and Yami were, where it was like me and Yami were like always together to the point where people thought that we were dating, and it's like, look at me though, I have my nails.
Look at this
done.
faggot.
But seriously, it's like I have my nails done. But
I
you know
can
what
say
I mean?
that I have gay friends.
Like that's
Happy Pride, man.
you have a gay brother. You know?
It just makes it all the more official.
Yeah, you're allowed to. You get the
Exactly.
pass. But yeah, it's that thing of like their relationship. You get the sense that like they were friends before Jennifer was cool. You know, well, they straight up were, but like that they just never parted ways. You know?
Yeah.
And I
She
find that
never
really
like
sweet.
disses Needy ever. Which to
until
me,
she becomes a succubus.
until she becomes a succubus. But like, I mean, it straight up it tells me that Jennifer is a good spirited person.
Because Needy can
in
give
a
it back to her
sense.
too.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
as if like it's all one sided. You know, it's not that Jennifer is consistently ribbing her. It's like they rib each other.
Yeah.
You know, which is I feel like it's like a very Irish friendship. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna I wouldn't talk to you like this if you weren't my friend.
As Irish as the inability to accept a compliment. Yeah.
But you know
we
what I
don't
mean,
compliment, we just tear each other down.
Stop. You
The
know?
more to our overseas audiences, which I know there are a few of you. Hey. The Irish humor. The way Irish humor works is that you are consistent. If I start to insult you, you know I like you.
Exactly.
You know I like you.
It's literally that line. They're like, I wouldn't talk to you like this unless I liked you. You know?
Because it's
Or,
like almost getting a free pass. You know, it's like reading. You know,
Well, it is.
it's like
That's exactly what
it's
it is.
familiarity through banter, and
It's called being good crack.
exactly. You know, it's roasting. It's,
I actually never thought
spit
about the
roasting.
idea how.
Lee gets rotated on both sides.
But
going.
I actually never thought about how close kind of reading and like Irish
culture is
like to each other. You know, I don't know. It's just a thing. It's like I feel like a lot of people when they come over here for the first time kind of find it a bit like
fuck, they're harsh.
A bit like jarring, and it's no. If that's I'm not talking to you like that, it's insulting.
It's insulting. Yeah.
You know.
Now, if you start to compliment an Irish person, they'll turn around and be like, "Nah, fuck off."
Stop,
like fuck.
Yeah.
We just can't accept.
Or they'll
like,
tell you the price of it.
Oh yeah.
You know.
It's great.
But yeah, this movie is just like it's so fucking nostalgic, and it's like it's warm and fuzzy, and it's like one of my seminal teenage movies.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is like quintessential growing up horror movies, I say. You know, like, it's this type of viewing is just rip it, just do it. But it's definitely one of those quintessential growing up horror
it's like
movies.
a Clueless or a Mean Girls.
Exactly. Yes, I would
like
put it
Heathers.
in the category of like Clueless and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Although like our younger audience would not fucking know what Clueless is.
I feel like
all.
if we have a younger audience, as if
I wouldn't
like,
know what younger is.
Remember that? No,
Who knows? It was too long ago.
You only see it in movies now. You know? But yeah, this to me is kind of like my equivalent to Heathers.
Yeah.
Or
Bunch of faggos.
Or a bunch of fagos, you know, something like that.
Look at us, try not to sound so Canadian. You have universal healthcare. I'm like, shut up.
I'm so sorry. I'm a rocker chick. I like to rock out. I like to scream. I like to yell. I like to holler. I like to throw shit around.
Alright, we are not talking about this movie anymore.
No. But this is what this movie does to me. It makes me feel like, remember 2009?
Remember when that was a thing? I mean, I can't even remember what I had for breakfast this morning.
I like vividly remember this movie coming out though. Like I remember me and my stepbrother Luke like saw the trailer and stuff and we're like super hyped for it. And we were still like too young to go and see it, but like as soon as it came out, this was one of those movies where I'd go to Extra and you'd be like, is it here yet?
Yeah.
You know? It was just the shot of Megan Fox with the lighter on her tongue and just like,
I am a god.
I'm a god. It was just like, what is this? I need to see this so much. That's one thing I will pride myself on, is that like I was like a first wave Jennifer's Body lover. I didn't have to come around to this movie, which I feel like a lot of people have. This has gotten kind of a cult classic thing, and it's like, no, this was good then.
Yeah,
you know?
This was something, not that I was an idiot, but I don't think when I did see it, I think I was seeing it in like drips and drabs. I wasn't like ever really watching the whole film in one kind of go. I think the first time I saw it, I think I saw maybe the last 40 minutes of the movie, I want to say, because it was like super late when it was on, or like it was like the ads were too long, I don't know, but I just never fully saw it in one full go until like years later, and then I was just pleasantly surprised by it.
That's bad. I had this on DVD. Like, this is one that was like heavy in my rotation. I also, Ash, if you're listening,
so heavy that you just absolutely wore out the DVD.
But like literally though, I'm pretty sure I still have this on DVD somewhere. This is one that like stayed in my collection after I got rid of everything. After I bought like years of collecting to sex, and they were like, cool, here's not enough money to get the bus home. You know? So fucking, and it was like, well, I'm not going to carry them all back home, am I? But yeah, if Ash is listening, this is when I like begged her for years to watch, because she had it on DVD. If you've ever been in Aisling Ramsey's house, you'll know that she has this like mega wall collection of DVDs, and she was always like, no, because she would say that like all like you guys' old group and shit like that used to love watching this movie because Amanda and Megan make out and shit like that, and she was like, I've seen this movie too many times, and it was like, the limit does not exist. I don't care. I will watch this movie twice in a week.
Wow.
You know?
I was so surprised when I saw what's his name from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
One of his first movie roles.
So fucking I was like, I recognized that face, and then I was like, that's a really heavy Canadian accent. I mean, what's going on?
See, Chris Pratt a year or two ago, he might have been Human Chair of the Week, but now.
No,
I don't fuck with Chris Pratt anymore.
Yeah, because he showed you his feet.
He showed me his foot, and I blocked him on Instagram. But also, he's like super mega Christian. Why do I also get the feeling that he's like, or like at least like a little bit.
Why are you whispering?
A little bit phobic.
I'd say there's a little apprehensive moments, shall we say?
I don't feel like he's got a lot of different types of friends. Let's just say that.
No, not a very diverse friend group, I would say for sure.
But he's like a super mega Christian. And like for some reason that's a red flag for me.
That is a red flag.
Yeah, if he was Catholic.
Oh, okay. Then he's
When I found out Mario Lopez was Catholic, I was like, I know what that means.
And guyliner was a thing.
It was, painted nails, guy liner. Now
chains hanging out of back pockets connected to your wallet. That like when you pulled it over,
one of those. I became
like a bunch of Fagos.
This is so embarrassing, right? So they go to Melody Lane, right? Which is like Jennifer calls it a club, and it's not. It's Chip calls it a bingo hall with a pump.
Yeah. I thought that was so funny.
But like they go here, I became such a little low shoulder stan because they have one song. This song was my ringtone for like a solid year. I don't care.
Through the trees.
I literally know all the words to that song.
Shut up.
Even outside of the movie. No, it's a full song. If you look it up. It's a bop. Or it was in 2010.
It's a bop. Okay, listen. I don't care what you think.
That was the state of music back in the day. We used to listen to shit like that.
We sure did. I love you 1, a 2, a 3 should be 2. Oh Jesus! Blood on the dance floor.
I was gonna say the Fall Out Boy of it all.
There's a Fall Out Boy poster in like almost every single shop.
They're on the track too. Yeah, we get Paramore on the radio for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. They did so well. They really did.
Now, this band is totally giving like Panic at the Disco. This is Adam,
dance floor.
This is Adam Brody. Oh my god, do you remember Blood on the Dance Floor? Oh my god, no way.
Fuck me in the dance.
But like, okay, literally, that's such a deep cut though. But also, we're cancelled. We're obsessed with...
snort a lot of my cum once when I
fucked you in the ass. For sure. Yes! Oh my god. The MySpace of it all. But seriously, it's like looking at it, like everybody has a flip phone. This is
I'm gonna break your heart and get away with murder. Yeah.
Oh my god, if you had told me when this movie was coming out that Jeffree Star would be who he is now, I would not have believed you. If I knew that everybody in my class at the time would eventually know who Jeffree Star is, you could have fooled me.
Oh god.
But it's like
to be
looking
young
at this,
and like be
nobody has
amazing.
This is pre-iPhone.
Yes.
Everybody's got a flip phone.
Phones.
Everybody's got a flip phone with a charm on it.
That have the buttons on one side where it pushed up.
You flip it up on the side. Yeah. Oh my god, a sidekick or whatever. I was obsessed.
Oh, it had a mini keyboard.
Simpler times. Even what's his fucking name again? Even Colin later is listening to music in his car, but it's like hooked up with like the aux cord. You know what I mean? On like a big spiral cord. Oh,
the audacity.
It is weird. I feel like this is one of those movies that like perfectly is like in the same way Clueless it's for the 90s. I feel like this is very much so like a very late 2000s movie.
Yeah, it's so evident of it. Like
it's such a little time capsule. The music,
really
they get Florence on the track.
Oh my god! But terribly edited or like sound
they chop
mixed.
It up weirdly.
It sounds terrible. Like it gets you. You hit me once, I hit you back. You get a kick, I give a slap, and then it sort of just goes straight into you hit me once, I
but like
hit
into
you
the
back.
Main chorus.
Not just like soft boot into it. It was just like, no, let's cut the rest of that verse out and put the chorus immediately in. I was like, oh, that's a hard edit.
They do that a lot with songs in this movie, but this is another one where I heavily listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Because I was already listening to shit that was on this already. This is one of those movies where it was like, oh shit, this song. Okay, let's actually talk about the movie.
Okay, so
Low Shoulder roll into town.
Yeah, they're great crack.
And they're like...
Satanists! Woo!
They're like... I was expecting, like, you half expect to see, like, Satanists for Dummies or whatever
Yeah.
in their car, you know,
Yeah,
because they
yeah,
just
yeah.
have like books that are like occult magic and like
Oh,
witchcraft.
like straight up, there are candles in the corner of this van, and like I was looking at it, like, oh my shit, like they're gonna burn themselves in this van if they're not careful, and like there's just
in the
there's a
1985
knife,
rapist.
there's like a fucking pentagram
It's
in
a
there.
Bowie
It's
knife.
oh,
Cool, Bowie.
yeah, Bowie, awesome. And then he's just like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this, and the guy just goes, what the fuck?
Don't you want to be like Maroon 5, you know?
He goes like, do you want to be like, do you know how hard it is to be an indie band
Indie
now?
band, we're everywhere. Oh my god. But that's
Or
so
unless
what
you make it on a
was.
soundtrack.
Unless you make it on some shitty soundtrack or onto Letterman.
Oh my
You know.
god.
That was the fucking state of the world, though. It's
it
weird.
was-
This is
yeah.
like the time when music was like this, right before everything became dance music again.
Uh-huh.
You know, where it was like being like this is like the peak of like hipster shit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Where
yeah.
it was like
This
being
is
kind of
like,
weird and vintage.
you
indie
know,
was the thing.
the hair was across one eye. You had the raccoon highlights. You know, the
raccoon
white
stripes.
lights. Yeah,
Oh my god! I mean,
You
it's
wore the
so-
fishnet gloves.
Uh-huh.
You had the chain. You had the guy liner.
fake piercings.
Fake piercings. Too many hoodies to count, and the skinniest black skinny jeans you could
remember
ever
that
think,
shit.
with Vans, checkered Vans.
Checkered Vans,
yeah,
it had to
yeah.
be checkered Vans. And the thing that's getting me is like the fashion in this, where I'm like Jennifer, who's like the peak of
Military
like, cool
jacket.
chick in
I
this.
think we need a jacket here.
she's got like a tank top on, and then she's got a hoodie with like another hoodie over it,
Uh-huh.
but they're all cropped differently. So there's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
3 layers of
And
shirts.
she's got those really cool, like, red lace.
The fishnets.
The fishnets,
Or-
yeah.
well, they're not fishnets,
With
but they're
the
like
fucking most 2000s
The
high
jacket.
heel that I've ever
the
fucking
boot.
seen.
Oh my god, the scrunch
eye.
boot.
Yeah.
Ew, and she's got like hoops on and shit. But the thing is, it's like she looks like a chav, but like
Yeah.
I like fully
Half
knew.
expected to pull out a switchblade.
But seriously, it's like I knew this girl.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? We all did, you know.
We were childs of the 2000s.
And it's weird. It's like I do feel bad for her. Like even from the jump, knowing
She
what
is
we
a
do
tragic
down there.
character, to be fair.
It is, and like that's the thing. It's like ultimately Jennifer is a victim.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Go on the Jenny.
But
Jenny from the block, who's not from the block.
But for real though,
Come
it's
take
like
them all with you,
they're
could you?
talking about her that she's like this like small town girl who like promises and never gives it up or whatever like
Yeah.
that. You know, like Needy overhears them talking about that they need a virgin or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're kind
She's
of
only a
arguing back
backdoor
and forth.
virgin.
I'm not even a backdoor virgin thanks to Roman. I couldn't even go to Flags the next day. I had to sit on a bag of frozen peas.
Love it.
But yeah, you just kind of get the sense that like she's, I don't know, she's like, how old would you say they are in this movie? Like supposed to be, like 16, 17.
So, so the thing I was gonna say, like at most, my brain didn't work there for a second. I forgot to count to 10. At most, I'd say like 18 as the oldest.
At the oldest,
I mean,
because
like,
like, they can
they're
drive.
mid-20s for sure, but like,
Oh, Amanda Seyfried is a grown up.
yeah, straight
know.
up, like, you know, a girl. You're not convincing anyone that you are 17.
Like she's Chip's like babysitter.
Yeah. Now, Chip definitely gives off. I'm 16 going on 17.
Well, he's young Neil
you know?
from
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim. You know,
Young Neil, you will no longer be called Young Neil. Now you are Neil.
Oh!
And he goes,
That's another movie that I feel like is a great companion piece to this, as like a
Oh,
perfect
it's-
time capsule
yeah.
for that time. Is Scott Pilgrim.
long ago in the faraway strange country of Canada. Toronto.
The Great White North.
Yeah. So they're in this bar scene, and basically the lads are like setting off fires in order to like basically scatter them all and take your one, right?
Yarwan.
Your one. Jenny from the block. Now, I forgot how fucking intense this bar fire
It's like
scene
9/11
was.
or something. The 9/11 tribute shooter.
Well, you
Shit,
get all the two
Tower 1
lines.
isn't filled up all the way. That also looked really good.
It does. That looks tasty.
Although it's like straight up like grenadine and like blue curacao and like I don't know, like
I was gonna
fucking,
say like
like
coconut milk
Baileys
or
or
something.
something.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's just the patriotic, because the most patriotic drink you've ever come across.
it's like how are you gonna get drinks? I'll just play Hello Titty with the bartender.
Yeah.
God, you know. But then it's like that kind of does add to it that it's like, oh, poor Jennifer. You know, it's like
Yeah.
she's using all of that to her advantage.
Yeah.
Which
She-
I'm totally in support of. But then it's like,
Yeah.
we get like Needy even says she hasn't been a virgin since like middle school or whatever, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you know,
So
poor Jennifer.
I look at it in two ways, right? Now, like, this is based off of what we know now as a sort of more, well, shall we say, developed society, shall we say.
Jennifer would be looked at very differently if this movie was made now.
Yes.
Like
Go on, no, say it. Don't be afraid to, because
She's
like
like-
we're
okay,
sort of
so we
bouncing
don't-
around it at this point.
we don't look at the word slut or anything like that the same way as we used to.
Yeah.
Like it would have been definitely used as an insult back in the day, you know. But Jennifer is kind of this more modern than then kind of version of this archetype where she uses it to her advantage, and we never get the sense that she's been victimized before.
Yes. That's
know?
what I was trying to say. Is
Like,
there
there's-
is a sense that not only do we get a sense that prior to the way she is now, the popular kind of version of herself, she has this sort of sense of entitlement to use her goods, shall we say.
Exactly, it's all within
to
her control.
advantage. Exactly. Like, it comes across as mature enough to be like, I'm still young, but I know what I have and I know what I can do with it.
I'm working the system to my advantage.
Exactly.
I know how men look at me, so I'm going to
Yeah.
use that. You know, like
Which is the exact opposite to the way Transformers was like viewing it.
exactly.
But I also
it's
say
that was
like
kind of
it's
like set upon her. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. This is the idea of the male gaze versus the female gaze, and that's with a Z, not with a Y.
the gays, the gays.
But
Oh, I
for
thought
real,
you meant the gays, the gays,
Gays,
the gay.
I'm asexual. But no, it is weird because it's like I feel like this is kind of the dual side, the double.
Is it?
But it is the double-edged sword of being the
Yeah.
quote-unquote slut or whatever, you know? Is like, she's perfect for this role because this is kind of what people perceived her as in real life, you know? And even with Needy, she's like empowering Needy. She's like, look, like you're like sexy or whatever. Like you got tits, like use them, you know? But it is,
You got
it's like-
great, Bob. Show it off, Gil.
But for real though,
She
it's
got
like,
no titties, but she got a great ass.
But it's like, look, you got to like you're in this system. You got to like figure out how to work it to your advantage,
Yeah.
like Jennifer has, you know.
Well, that's why I say go on the Gen A. Go on the
It's also
Gen A.
so funny. Later, she's like, I have the cops in my back pocket. I'm fucking a cadet.
Yeah, a
And it's like
cadet.
you're so naive. You know?
Oh, I do think that this bar fire scene is really, really fucking intense.
Yeah.
It is really. I forgot, as I said like earlier, there are certain scenes in this that like suddenly take it out of, so the comedic aspect just disappears altogether for certain scenes.
Well, like everybody dies.
Yeah.
Except for them and Low
Yeah.
Shoulder.
And Ahmed.
Yeah, but like
Ahmed?
yeah, but we're supposed to believe that he's dead.
He's dead. Yeah. So I always loved that, like, sort of the sort of back and forth. Are we going to go chronologically? Do we want to, like, or do
I
we
think
just
so.
want to?
It's
Yeah.
a simple enough story.
Yeah. So like basically the lads Low Shoulder
Low Shoulder.
basically kidnap her. They basically kidnap her in the van.
It's weird because she's like kind of in shock, because Needy is the one that actually gets them out of there. Like
Yeah.
Jennifer doesn't lead them. They get up on the sticker toilet.
I heard they
and
had to
climb
fight
it.
their way out of the machete.
With a machete. You take that back, Liz Nikki. They're heroes. Yeah. But Jennifer is kind of just like, like kind of shell shocked or whatever. But which is kind of a weird turn. You know, because Jennifer said she was so fucked up that night or whatever like that. And it's like, yeah, we weren't really drinking, because she puts those shooters down. She doesn't actually drink them. But then when they're outside, Needy is like, come on, let's just go home. Like, let's get in the Sebring and let's get the fuck out of here or whatever. And Adam Brody comes over, and I actually don't know their names. I don't think we're ever given their names, like, individually in the movie. They're just Low Shoulder.
Low Shoulder, yeah.
And he's, like, feeding her, like, this whiskey or whatever, and she's, like, taking a sip, and he, like, pushes it back so she's drinking more. And he's like, look, I think we should get to a safe place right now. That's my van. And it's weird. We've all been in situations
It's
like
so
that before.
cringy.
It is, because it's like, this is an allegory for rape. I think.
Of course
You
it
know,
is.
or at least being taken advantage of, because it's like usually people don't, in this situation, usually it doesn't end up in a satanic ritual. Usually it ends up with rape, because that's like Needy assumes that happens. Needy assumes that is what happened to her. When she's talking to Chip later, he's like, "What make was the van?" She's like, "I don't know, a 1985 rapist," you know. But it also literally is like a rape van.
Yes.
You know, they pull it open, Texas Chainsaw style, and it's this
No
like
windows.
no windows, candles, and it's like it's her sitting there, and she's all like crumpled up, and it's all the dudes kind of surrounding her, you know. And it's like it almost would have been better for her if it was a rape scene, you know, because ultimately it ends up with her fucking dying in the end.
Sheen, fuck off, Sheen.
You bitch! How did you get your fucking order so quickly?
I don't know. Maybe I was just extra nice. But they take her to Devil's Kettle, the waterfall.
Devil's Lake.
Devil's Lake. I thought that was so good. And basically, they ritually commit her soul to Satan and this quote-unquote virgin, which I love the fact that she turns around, she goes, yes,
I don't even know how to do sex.
I don't even know. But like it sort of just seals her fate, and I was just like, oh no.
It's like, see, it's like if she had continued to use her sex to like
Yeah.
appeal that way, it would have
would've
gotten her
worked.
out of it, you know.
Yeah.
And this is the only time where she's. It's weird because she's only ultimately victimized when they think she's a virgin. It's like when she's being when she's sexualizing herself, she's fine.
And the irony is that a lot of the time she doesn't get the attention when she tries to be sort of overtly sexual to get what she wants. She kind of doesn't get that attention, but when she's just goes all demure and small the way she is in the van,
Yeah.
all eyes are on her. Like they're glued to her. They can't take it off. I just found that's really interesting.
And it is the sad part that it's like, okay, if she's thinking that that's the only way that she can get what she needs, it's like that kind of sucks. You know? I mean, fucking power to you.
Yes.
You know, if you can, if you got it, blunt it. If you got them, smoke them.
I fully commit to the idea that beauty opens doors everywhere.
It is, you know. It ironic, like they don't take Needy.
No.
You know, and Needy is a virgin. You know, no, she isn't. I just lied. But she's the quote unquote virginal final girl.
Yeah.
Kind of archetype. Because like her and Chip have had sex before, but it's like it's so sweet. It's so innocent. You know. And,
it's not dirty and raunchy like your mid-20s.
It is. It's
great.
It's weird. It's like I don't know. It's adorable because he's like, I picked up more condoms from Super Target. You know, and then like later on, when
I don't
they're
know.
like,
It's
in the bed,
supposed to
whatever,
pleasure the girl.
it's supposed to feel good for the girl. She's like, cool. You know, Chip is so sweet in this movie.
I was literally live texting you while watching this, and I swear to God, when you. The flashbacks to them when they were kids in the sandbox, and I think she gets stabbed with like a thumbtack or something. And I literally sent you a message saying, "Did you know you can get AIDS from sucking blood out of a rusty thumbtack?"
I never got AIDS and shit. But literally, she's like, "Don't tell my mom; she'll make me get a shot." And Needy's like, "I'll never tell." You know,
I'll never break our
this
friendship.
little girl is perfect casting for Baby Amanda Seyfried, though.
Yeah.
They look exactly. She's actually the older sister in Mama.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is another
interesting.
great movie. I'd love to do that someday.
Yeah, let's go to Guillermo del Toro.
Maybe for Mother's Day. It's actually Andy Muschietti as well.
Ah, yes.
This is his first
Sure
movie.
is.
I always forget he's kind of a disciple of Del Toro.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Great. I love it.
But
She gets stabbed.
yeah,
She straight up dies.
it's
and
really
it's sad. Yeah.
'Cause she's a great. I think she pulls it off.
She
She's
does.
a great actress.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know. But also, I don't know. There's something really, really cool about just like good old satanic rituals in a movie. I always like the aesthetic of it. You know, it's beautiful. It's actually really like this movie is gorgeously shot when it pulls out because they use nature, in this kind of randomly. You know, it's like when she's out by the lake or when she's with Craig in the forest or like with this like Devil's Kettle is like quote unquote mystical. kind of.
Yeah.
Because they show that shit shows up, except we do find out where stuff resurfaces later, like at the very, very end of the movie. That, like, did they come to Devil's Kettle because they knew that this place was here, so they could kind of dispose of her there, or because they throw the knife in. But Devil's Kettle is basically like a whirlpool that like is like infinite, like it goes down into infinity and stuff never resurfaces. All these science guys keep throwing shit in, but they don't know if it's like an alternate dimension or just really deep.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, they sacrifice the shit out of her, and she's really selling the shit out of it.
No, the whole murder drops from being comedic to suddenly like in the van feeling very uncomfortable, and then straight up like, oh, they're gonna murder her.
Yeah.
And it drops comedy just drops off the side of the earth
Because she thinks they're rapists, and it's like, no,
No.
they straight up tell her, we're gonna butcher you and then bleed you. You know, like,
And
it's
then
not
once
gonna
they
be
say
quick.
it, and then Timmy's here is gonna wear your face. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, even the guy's
Like
like,
that.
oh my god.
But the rest of it's gonna pretty much happen.
They start singing to her as well. It's so twisted.
It's demented.
You know,
Yeah.
it actually, that when they're singing to her, it actually gives me Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah.
You know, where they're really just fucking with her.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, do they need her scared? You know, like, is that part of it? You know.
All right, Pennywise, calm down.
But I love the fact that it's like flipped on them though, because she isn't a virgin. She's then turned into a succubus.
Yeah.
Which is something that actually doesn't come up in movies often enough.
A succubus demon?
Strangely.
Yeah,
I think Megan
that's
Fox is the perfect person for that role.
yeah.
You
Like
know?
it's very much how would you say it? It's very much sort of a niche sort of thing to have for a horror film. I suppose something along these lines would be obviously a good interest. But I do think it's sort of very underutilized sort of aspect to demonology that's kind of never really brought up. Yeah.
Like it's a big thing, and it's also kind of a very basic concept. The only other time I've ever seen a succubus used in media is in Charmed.
Yeah.
You know, that's literally the only other time. But I feel like this is, I don't know, it stands out for me. It's not just a normal like demon movie or like a possession movie or anything like that. Like it's nicely set aside from a lot of other shit, you know.
True.
But Needy finds out later that they still get what they want, you know. They still get to become famous. They get to become Maroon 5 or whatever. But
They made it onto some shitty soundtrack.
But whatever demon that they're trying to sacrifice her to is in her. So Jennifer is technically possessed. Like, Jennifer is dead. You know, it is kind of a Deadite situation where it's like Jennifer isn't there anymore. Jennifer is kind of just the shell that whatever they sacrifice her to is living in.
She's just the skin, baby.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a ghost in the shell, if you will. You know, it's like Jennifer is just
that is a fucking reach.
It's not a reach. It's like she's... It's not, though. It's like Jennifer is just the outside, you know? It's like Jennifer's not there anymore. Jennifer then died, you know, and whatever is walking around is...
Mrs. Jennifer Knight.
Miss Jennifer no home. Jennifer?
Jennifer Coolidge. It's not Jennifer anymore. It's Jennifer Coolidge.
No, Jennifer Onizul. But,
I was actually just looking up my music there the other day, and I saw Anastasia, whatever her name is, the singer.
not calling her Anastasia. Don't try to
Whatever.
put the spin on it.
Whatever.
I'm out of love.
What?
Set me free. Okay?
She looks like Jennifer Coolidge now because she had a lot
She
of like,
straight
plastic
up looks
surgery.
like Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah.
I was always uncomfortable with her fashion. That video where she's like in a bank and she's got like a red leather jumpsuit on with like red clear lenses. How I know? Yeah. I don't care. I actually love Anastasia. Gross. Your love isn't fair. I'm out of love. I like straight up and ironically do love her though. So the movie.
Right, we have to talk about this moment where she vomits up this black goo thing.
Which looked like roadkill and like sewing needles. It's
and
good.
it's straight up just CGI.
Oh, it is.
Amanda Seyfried Needy couldn't tell it was CGI when she saw it, so it makes sense that she said sewing needles.
It is weird though. Pretty much everything else in this movie. Oh well, I will say there is like one or two questionable CGI moments in this. This being one of them, and I think her running towards Craig later is
Where
the
she
other,
unhinges her jaw,
which
and
is
it's
kind of a
like,
cool effect. But I kind
it's
of like
cool,
it
but I
when
was
they
like,
show it in silhouette more,
you could've
like
done
with
it
Colin
better.
later, where she
Yeah.
like unhinged. It's like Dracula in Van Helsing, where like she just gets this big descended jaw later, and then like that in the pool. That's all practical.
Yeah.
Where they just make her like a mouthpiece to make her look.
Yeah.
Like she's got this huge jaw. But this is a really effectively creepy scene.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
Needy
done
goes
well.
downstairs because she gets home and Jennifer's still there in the van, and she calls Chip. And she's like, stay on the phone with me. And she goes downstairs and like nobody's there, so she ends up hanging up or whatever. It's fine. And then she goes into the kitchen, and then Jennifer's there with that like it's weird. I have like we share that kind of affinity for like something could be like really grotesque and still find it really beautiful. Like just because everything in this scene is like very, very blue, but then we just get this like red, like cherry red.
Yeah.
You know, and she just opens her mouth, like just pulls it into this like smile. You know, very kind of reminiscent of Mama Deadite from the new Evil Dead. You know,
Or is Mama Deadite reminiscent of...
Yes, but this is what I was thinking watching this last night. And just pulls it into this smile or whatever, you know, and then goes and just pulls out this chicken out of the freezer or out of the fridge, and she's like, "My mom got that from Boston Market. We're not supposed to." And Jenna, she's eating it off the floor. You know, like Megan Fox is so not afraid to get gross and nasty and dirty in this movie.
But you know what? It's gorgeous either way.
It is. It actually looked really good though. But she pulls it. She like throws it on the floor, and she's just like, she's like an animal in this scene. Like she's on her not on all fours. She's like squat down, and she's just pulling apart this chicken, and then just throws it all up over Needy or whatever. And then poor Needy later, she shows us she's just like mopping up, and she's like.
You should find a Chinese chick to buff your situation.
Oh, no way, Senorita Rosa ate shit. You know? It's so good.
The foreign exchange student got it.
It's so fucking good. Like this, and now Jennifer is all like hot again. You know? I feel like they borderline like CG'd her or something like that to look like a Twilight vampire. Like she's like visibly glowing or something, you know. But she comes in and she's got like, again, she's wearing this to school where it's like a cardigan is like a hoodie that's like zipped down to here. It's like I can see her belly button, and there's like this much fabric between her belly button and tits. You know? But she's doing the craft, the ginger snaps thing where she's like walking through school, and she's all like, it's like a slow-mo shot.
Pop, I'm amazing.
It's actually straight up a shot from Ginger Snaps though, where she's walking through. We need to watch Ginger Snaps soon. You'll fucking love it. It's literally this movie, but with a werewolf instead. It's so fucking good.
So much more interesting.
She's so cunt in that movie. But yeah, this is kind of like where the movie starts to like pick back up into like comedy for like a good while. You know, we don't really get it.
Despite your teenage angst about who's a cool dude and who's a hoe.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
Oh my god. I literally screenshotted this, and
J.K. Simmons is their teacher with a hook hand. What the
I
fuck?
love it. It's great.
It's so bizarre. I remember, like, I was watching this last night though, and it's like, why the fuck does he have a hook hand? Like, that's so random. And the thinnest of perms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever this wig was, they said take like 98% of the hair out of this thing. He looks like
I want strands.
seriously, countable strands. He looks like when one of the robbers in Home Alone gets electrocuted.
Yeah,
you know, like his hair is standing straight up. He looks crazy. But this guy also is just delivering so much like great comedy though.
Yeah,
you know, like just after this, where Jennifer goes out and she meets Craig on the field or whatever, Or not Craig, Jonas. This like huge fucking dude.
This gorilla of a man.
He literally does. He looks like Hank McCoy. Like he looks
They're
like he
also
would be like
playing
Beast in
Rammstein
X-Men.
on the track.
I know.
And I was just
That zoom in though is really really cool though,
Yeah,
because
it's
like
good.
it's almost like a Raimi shot where it's like running towards him, and then we see her like walking towards him like from like way out of frame, and then she appears on the other side, and he's just like, the fuck? And she's like, no, I saw Craig last night. I was probably the last person to talk to him. You know,
And he
said
totally wanted us to
we would be a
bone.
banging couple. And he said banging. And she's like, yeah. Feel my heart. I think it's broken. You know, and she brings him out into the woods in the back of the school. Totally normal behavior.
Of course.
And this is really cool though, where we start to get like nature is like communing with her. We get like raccoons and like fawns and like birds and chipmunks and all this shit. They're all like gathering around to like watch. You know,
They want to see the kill.
They wanna,
They want
a little perverted little
What
deer.
did they say? They called it. He looked like lasagna with teeth.
No, that's that's Colin.
Colin, yeah.
But this, oh my god, this is also a great shot. So she like unzips her shit and like, this is another questionable
The
CG
animals are
shot.
getting horny.
It's cool though, because it's kind. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I don't know. Anytime there's like demonic shit, I always feel like there's like implications of like ancient shit. Where I'm like, is this like what always happens with like succubi or whatever like that? You know, it's like they're a force of nature kind of thing. You know, like they become more like animalistic or whatever. But she like, her jaw like splits open at the side. I mean, to be fair, we only see it for like a second.
But like, it's just janky though, because I look at it, you know, like that's probably one effect you could have done without, and just given her a set of like the teeth that she's wearing on your t-shirt,
Or like show her from the back or something.
Yeah, like you could have done something where like, let's do the reaction from her point of view, like going in for the kill.
Yeah, like
that would have
keep,
been a cool
keep
shot.
this as the reveal until the end.
Exactly, like
know?
that would have been cool. Like keeping the mystery of it all, and just like dropping little hints of like using that drop shadow and things like that.
I think the drop
It's
shadow is
just-
one of the coolest shots in the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
movie.
and she's like super fucking thin.
I was
Did
just
you
gonna
notice
say,
her
she's,
waist
like,
like
ultra-
dips to like this?
It is. She's like getting thinner. Like she's
Yeah.
ultra thin. It's insane. And she's like throwing the hair back and everything with the blood. It looks so fucking cool.
But it just like this, the way this shot murdering him was just
Jonas.
It just wasn't good, because like there was these like, I don't know whether they were meant to be like spurts of blood coming out of her cheeks or something.
They looked kind of dumb.
I was just like, oh,
She gets that kind of like Chelsea grin kind of thing.
Yeah,
where it's
yeah.
like her, like the Joker smile almost, where like her mouth splits at the side.
it just didn't work.
It's a
well.
1 second shot though. I could have done without, but whatever. I'll forgive. But when they, but
You could have
JK's
done it with a shot just facing the animals and see blood like being splattered in front of
yeah,
them.
because we
That
get the
would have
sense that
done
she's
fine.
eating him anyway. It's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly.
Now this is our first kill that we see. But I
Did
love.
you hear that old people just pop out of me?
Oh, wait. No, I can't do it anymore. Oh wait.
Oh,
that was a great
good one.
That felt so good. But oh wait, now I have to do the other one.
Oh, wait. Oh!
Oh my god, wait.
One more. Yes.
God damn it, the rattle of my bones. But
One
J.K.
does get to that age.
Have a nice rattle. But J.K. Simmons is like getting into his car and he hears
like,
Jonas being
let
like,
it out.
ah! It's like, you kids, you let it out. You let it out. But then he kind of like investigates further and he goes and he just finds Jonas like hollowed out.
Yeah.
Casey Becker to bits. There's nothing below the rib cage and
Yeah.
above the waist.
So like the way I get it is, I mean, it's obvious from like the way she's like drinking Colin's blood is like, I'm guessing she needs something that is like
Like a
basically in the cavity area of the human stomach.
That's also one of the
And
coolest shots I've ever seen.
Yeah,
her
of
just
like
pulling
just
it.
cupping it.
Oh,
man.
it's so cool.
It just gives me the sense that, like, at first, when I was like, oh, it's a succubus, maybe she has to eat his dick or something. Like, it
Yeah.
was sort of like all these ideas were sort of flying around in my head. It was like, how does she feed? Like, what does she eat? Or is it
the
just
blood specific? Yeah.
Yeah, because it gives the impression that, okay, maybe it is a vampire, but it's not, because she does also physically consume chunks
like
off
meat,
the
yeah.
men. You know
like
what
their
I mean?
whole torso
Yeah.
is missing.
Yeah, because if it
You
was
know?
like bites on the neck, like what happens to Chip towards the end, and Needy, then like you just kind of get the sense that like you're not really selling the demon aspect as you're selling more of a kind of
Because even when she's
aspect.
first in the house with Needy, she kind of goes for the neck in the kind of vampire way, where
Yeah.
she's kind of just like,
Does she kiss it or lick it? I think she kisses it or something.
yeah, she's kind of just like lingering over it with her mouth, kind of like she doesn't go for it.
Not a full lesbian yet.
No. But I love this, and then it's like this guy's dad, Jonas's dad, delivers like one of the. It's like one of the most outrightly comedic
I will
things.
cut off your balls and nail it to my door like those lion door knockers rich people got.
It'll be your balls.
That will be your balls.
So
And he does it.
stupid.
He does it like the end of Final Destination, like when she's going, "What are you waiting?" Or no,
very
it's like
that's
I know
you
you
did
did last summer.
Yeah.
It's kind of that. It
But
gives
he
that.
literally is, and he's like shaking his fist to the sky. You know what I mean? It's so fucking.
And the
funny.
cop is just like, huh?
But and
I
so
will be one of those.
when he sorry.
My God.
But like then when
It's funny because you can make those comments now, and
Ink,
it's just
ink,
like
ink.
it's true.
then when Needy is like, see, also I'm petit cochon. You know, we're one and the like. But when Needy goes over to Chips later or whatever, they're talking to me. He's like, his mom is just staring at the window like a freak mannequin robot statue. You know, and then they cut to her and she's just staring at the window.
They're in a caravan kind of lot thing, right? Yeah. Because I was like, I didn't dream that up. I was like, I know that's a detail somewhere in that movie. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like quote unquote small white trash town.
I was getting that.
You know,
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
podunk or
yeah.
whatever like that. It's important to connect with our fans in those shittier areas too.
Oh my God, I love that.
Because we see that it's like Devil's Kettle has like a population of like 4,000 or something.
I'm
which is
having
smaller
the
than
best
Enfield.
day since like Jesus
invented
invented
the
the calendar.
You know when you kiss a boy for the first time and it feels like your whole body is on vibrate. You know,
I am a god.
that's iconic.
I
That
love
has
it.
become so iconic.
Yeah.
The lighter on the tongue. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
It's that one image of just her with the lighter and just going,
that in the trailer is what sold the movie to me.
really?
Is that moment because it was just like shit. Like that's
It was
fucking
Jennifer
cool.
that sold it to me.
Now, one thing that always pisses me off, like that healing up is fine. Later on, where she stabs herself and it's like some X-Men shit, right?
Oh yeah, it's an X-Men
One thing
shit,
that
right?
always pisses me off is when somebody has a wound that heals up. Why is the blood gone?
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
always
yeah.
always
There's-
always
the blood is
irritates
still
me.
on the thing at the.
But it's not on her arm.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
true.
the wound should have healed up, but the blood should still be there. That always pisses me off. Or like when somebody gets shot and they like pop out the bullets or whatever like that. The blood disappears too. That always irritates me.
Okay, we have to talk about this, right? And I specifically took a picture.
Boo, Needy, I'm crossing you out. I used to say that to people. Like I was so cringe.
What the fuck is this?
It's Colin. We used to look
Just-
like that. Nathan, I had your swipe card and you looked like that minus the LeBret ring. Don't fucking lie. You had dyed black hair one time too.
Don't you dare! Don't you fucking
You also
dare
had a
bring
wallet
it
that
up.
went.
How dare you?
You also had a wallet that went.
I
when you
did.
opened it. Yeah, you did. Don't lie like you didn't wear striped wristbands. Don't lie like you didn't walk around with fingerless gloves with stripes. Because I did the same thing too. Bitch.
PMSing isn't real, Needy.
It's made up by now to make us sound crazy.
Look, so oh god, I mean,
Listen, I think
just-
we're more like Colin than you would like to admit.
You wanna know if I'll go out with you?
Yeah, what?
What's the pitch?
How do you
Just go ahead with the pitch.
Okay.
They're showing
what
Rocky Horror.
is he?
They're showing Rocky Horror at the Bijou next weekend. I don't like boxing moves.
He's like, oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
whatever.
a
Fuck it.
Yeah. Nathan, don't fucking lie. We were these people. You have become even more that person now that you're a writer. You are so a soliloquy spinner. You'd be talking like this, okay? Just because you don't walk
The
around like
hands
the
are
White
up.
Queen from Alice in Wonderland. I walked around like that for ages with the pinky up.
Listen, honey, let me tell you something, okay? Listen, Linda.
All of
okay?
our friends look like this.
Yes, we sure fucking did. And You know what? Yeah, I mean, like, what did I wear when I was younger? Now, was I an emo? No, I think I was more a scene kid than an emo.
Yeah, I was the same.
I was much more into the highlighter colors. Stupid shit.
It was, though, like, we
skull
were...
and crossbones. I never wore guyliner, but I definitely did have the hair across one eye.
Heavily. That's the thing. We were Jeffree Star Blood on the dance floor, not Fall Out Boy.
Fuck me in the dance floor. Fuck me in the dance floor.
But that's what I always say. It's like I wasn't emo. We were like emo adjacent.
Yeah.
You know? But also we get a straight up emo call out in this movie where she's like, ooh, surface wound is so emo. You know? And I'm like, hearing the word emo in a movie is it's such a throwback. But an actual emo. This is what emos actually look like.
Yeah.
You know?
This is where, like, once again, like, it sort of, like, gets more so into the non-comedic aspect because you deal with the Jonas's funeral.
Yeah.
Jonas, yeah. Where... or no, sorry, it's
Colin's funeral where he looked like lasagna with teeth.
This scene where he gets murdered is just like... Would you really go, like, knowing that you're going on a date with someone and then suddenly you're turning into a deserted street of a building and all of this type of thing?
Can I clue you into something?
Go for it.
This is gay culture.
Yes, but it's not gay.
No, meeting somebody in what is very definitely a shady location with the promise of sex is gay culture.
But it's not gay with this because it's straight people.
But I'm telling you that it's like this is not outside of the norm to go to a shady area, or like when you're in like high school or secondary school or whatever like that. It's like you don't necessarily have the option to just go to your house.
True.
You know, you would meet kind of wherever you could. You know, and to be honest, it's not sketchy until he gets there.
True, and also she's set dressed.
It's gorgeous.
It's great.
You know, but she's playing Akon.
Oh my god! I wanna fuck you.
Fuck you already. But it's weird. I don't know. I kind of got this weird like this is so stupid. It's like this weird like exchange of cultures where he's kind of like there's no way that like their paths would ever cross.
Yeah,
you know, except for the fact that like it's weird. She has people in her thrall. They're not just attracted to her because she's Jennifer Check. She also has like a Pennywise level pull to people where she's like she has like a chemical reaction with them. Even with Needy later, Needy isn't never into Jennifer like that until Jennifer like turns it on.
Yeah,
and like is able to like physically pull her to her.
I was just about to say that because this is where we get the lesbian scenes.
No, we got to talk about Colin real quick.
I know, yeah. Go for it then, I suppose.
Him doing like I don't care. This like pop goes punk like rendition of I Can See Clearly.
Yeah.
You know, and he's got like I don't know. He's got like it's not even connected to his phone. You know, it's like a CD player or some shit like that. Remember those?
Those were the halcyon
Remember
days.
CD players in cars? Oh my god, it makes me feel so old. But he's like listening to this and he's like, but it's so stupid. It's like if I had to play a CD now, I would have to put it into my PlayStation. I don't have anything that's made for CDs anymore.
Cars don't actually come with compact disc players anymore.
No, because they used to get robbed out of people's cars. You used to be able to just take your whole radio out. The Hammer ones.
That's
ghetto.
Fucking crazy.
But like he drives down this street, and like to be fair, this like he's like driving along, and it's like populated pretty well. And then they get to this area, and then the shot and everything is gorgeous because it's like
moonlit.
It's him down at the end of the street, and we can only see him like cross the road or whatever. And he can tell it's the one house that she's at because it's the one house with like lights in the window, you know. This is the one scene that actually made me jump, which is because I was so expecting because I knew there was like a loud noise at one point. We see like plastic sheeting when he goes around to the side of the house, and I was expecting birds to fly out then, but they fly out at the top of the stairs. But when he like jumps in the window or whatever like that, it literally made me jump, which was it's not even a jump moment, it's just because it was quiet and then loud. But I don't know, I kind of liked this weird crossover where it's like they're kind of probably starting to get to the age where your subculture starts to matter less.
Yes.
And you're just kind of looking at people as people, you know? Like
God, those were like just being divided up by social hierarchies and stuff like that. I mean, like looking back at it now, you adopt obviously like a more mature personality, but looking back at it now, like it really didn't fucking matter.
No, they don't define you that much at all.
They don't define you
It's
at
like, yeah,
all.
we're friends because we have common interests. But, like, I don't have... Like, with Emma, I have a lot of things in common with Emma. But, like, I have a lot of things that I... Like, what I have in common with you is not the same thing I have in common with Aisling, or what I have in common with Emma, or whatever like that. But that literally doesn't mean shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like you have different friends for different things. You know what I mean? You share different, like, interests with different people.
I'm purely a delivery service for you.
Because you got me an Elf bar twice. I've brought milk to your house like 3 times.
Once.
You can eat my ass.
And also, you requested if I needed anything.
You also didn't pay me back for that milk, you fucking bitch. But,
Did I not?
No.
Oh no, I wasn't accusing lying. I was like, did I not? Holy shit! Why didn't you tell me? I would have fucking...
No, because it was like £2.
Oh god!
I'm taking the piss.
Now I feel like shit.
No, I don't care. But like,
But you do though.
No, we'll talk about this after the podcast. No, but like that's the thing is like there is. Like your subculture and your tribe like seem to matter so much when you're like younger. That's why I get the sense that they're probably 17, 18 when you're starting to like slip out of that, you know, where there is crossover between friend groups and stuff. And it's like, oh shit, you're not a piece of shit because you like different music to me or because you like different fashion than I do. Yeah.
I definitely feel like, especially when I have my kids and I want them to go to school and things like that, I will turn around and tell them, it's like, don't give a fuck what they say. Because at the end it won't fucking matter. It won't, like, it will have no bearing on your existence at all. Because like had someone told me this when I was young, I would have been like, yeah, I don't fucking like, apart from like meeting them in the hallways or maybe sitting next to some randomer that I don't say, I never saw them outside of school. I never interacted with them. Never made any effort. They certainly didn't either. So why did it matter so much? Literally no reason at all.
See, I loved that in school where you're sat next to somebody that isn't your friend and you're like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, no, that part I didn't mind, but like
you actually kind of like
like
some of the same shit I like.
It's the cool person that's like forced to sit next to you because you're not on the cool level.
That's weird to me. I mean? Like there like most of my year was very definitely a clique or whatever, but it was never like a oh fuck you guys, or it was never like nobody ever like quote unquote punched down in like social hierarchy or whatever. It was like everybody got shit. You know, there was no like everybody had a bully or everybody had like conflicts with people. There was no like I got along with
drama mama.
Exactly, like I got along with like almost every single one of the quote unquote popular girls. You know, because I was in like the same classes as them, or I was the only boy in home ec, or
you're the year's faggot.
Like, but that's the thing is like that never seemed to like matter to people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. It's like I got shit because I was weird, not because I was gay. You know, I always say that it's like being gay is probably like the least
because you're gay.
No, honestly, like it has made me a monster. I honestly think I should have gotten bullied because I was gay.
Lee Whelan, the monster. Lee Whelan, the Lee Whelan story.
But that's the thing, and I'm still here, you know. But like that is the weird thing. I think if I was bullied more because I was gay, I wouldn't be as gay as I am now. But like I really didn't. I got bullied because I was a freak. You know, I always say even if I wasn't gay, I'd still be a fucking little punk bitch.
Punk asshole.
I'd still wear this t-shirt. I just probably wouldn't. It would probably just be like a couple of sizes smaller, or like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. No. Just because I suck dicks doesn't mean anything. You know?
Well, you know what's punk as fuck is his death.
It's so cool!
The silhouetted... gutted, rotted, like, I need you scared.
And she's like a skeleton. She's so thin. Yeah. You know, but
and it's all implied. You don't physically see it on screen. You see
it's
her,
like a Nosferatu
I think
moment.
she makes the initial bite on screen and then the rest is off screen and he's just like...
Well, it's because her eyes, she like flickers her eyes white for a sec. Yeah. And he's like...
Yeah.
You know, it's...
As if he knew what she was.
Which is kind of cool, you know. You feel like in that moment he was kind of like, oh, cute. You know? I love that line earlier, though, where it's like, Colin only talks to the dead girls. You know? And it's like, that was our crew.
That was the cool one. We were the ones that messed with Ouija boards. We were the cool ones.
That's one thing I've actually never fucked with. I've never done a Ouija board.
I've done it twice.
It was one thing.
Never got a nothing because Dallin was the one that messed with it.
Oh, moving the planchette or whatever. Or the shot glass, because nobody ever actually had a planchette. I remember back in the day, my mom, who... on the surface wouldn't say it's like superstitious, but also super is.
Superstitious.
Ultrastitious. But like megastitious. But like my mom, even when I was younger, was like, don't fuck with Ouija boards.
Yeah.
And shit like that. So it was like, I never did.
And you know where they got that from? The Exorcist.
Yeah. But that's the thing, Ouija boards weren't even that weird though. Like
No.
Hasbro used to sell Ouija boards.
Exactly.
You know, or like a spirit board. But then like, I remember one time in Emma is an adamant, almost militant atheist. Doesn't believe in ghosts or any of that shit until you try to do a seance in her room. and then she will kick you out if you try to do that shit.
Do you believe in it or don't you?
That's what me and Aisling used to get on her for that all the time. Because I remember one time we were like drunk or whatever, and it was like,
doesn't mean they don't believe in you.
It's like, let's call the coroners or whatever, like that. You know, like when you're going through that phase when you're like 15 or whatever. And she's like,
calling to the guardians of the Watchtower of the North. Yeah.
Guardians of the invention and motherhood or whatever. But like she's super. It's like, don't do that in my room. Like I remember one time I drew a pentagram on her door frame and she got so pissed at me. But I was like, are you pissed because I drew on your wall, or are you pissed because it's a pentagram? Like, are you creeped out or pissed off? You know?
Oh.
But oh god, just like the way this whole thing goes down, it's so badass.
Just like ripping, tearing. Her mouth is like 3 rulers long.
And
you know,
these huge teeth. It really did remind me of Dracula in Van Helsing.
Oh yeah,
where it's like the big
yeah.
distended jaw and the long teeth. We need to talk about that movie one day too. That's one of the coolest movies.
That is an adventure movie.
It's a horror movie. It's literally about Dracula. Stop fucking writing rules, bro. There's a werewolf, Frankenstein's monster, and Dracula, and Dracula's brides, which are
and
the coolest fucking part of that movie.
Igor. And
Dr. Frankenstein! Oh my god, and the most operatic, Aisling will back me up on this, that's also become one of our
what did you say?
You heard.
I didn't. I'm very old.
Let's have it, you prick. No, that's become one of our...
Can you repeat that?
That's become one of our movies about it. We actually watched it twice in one night. Like a couple of years ago. But Frankenstein's monster is so operatic in that movie. Whoa! It's so good. But yeah, she's just ripping him open, and like that shot of her just like throwing the hair back, like covered in blood, like all lit with rats and stuff everywhere. And she's like, I thought you guys were supposed to be into like death and shit, you know. And then just that shot of her sitting over him, just pooling his blood in her hands and drinking it. It's I don't know. I think it's like one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a movie.
I need you horny, both horny and scared.
I need
to eat you.
Yeah, I need you
eat
scared.
you out.
You know, and he's like kind of alive the whole time. She's just ripping apart his torso.
I get the sense that she's not doing deep bites in the first few. She's just doing it for the sake of it. She's bleeding him out, so like he's still alive every time she bites him. Yeah, but
just like that's definitely one of the shots that's going up on the Instagram. It's just her just pooling the blood. Every once in a while she's in it. Let's go ahead. Very heavy britations tonight.
What was that?
Serene Branson.
What?
Very heavy britations tonight. I'll show you later. But every once in a while they'll get her in a squat where she, like you said earlier, she looks like a spider or something. Where it's like her knees are up super high. Spider, you know, like she could have like 3 more legs behind there. You know, just like I don't know,
just 3.
For something seeing Jennifer or seeing Megan Fox, who's like this like very classically beautiful girl, just like covered in blood. Yeah, you know, just like drenched in blood is so fucking cool. Yeah. And then they find Colin, but they find Colin like days later. Like it's not.
He was lasagna with teeth.
But his friends that I love so much.
Oh, okay. So this is one of those scenes that I wanted to actually like kind of get into as well, is because that this is one where it suddenly just the comedy just disappears altogether and it suddenly becomes very serious.
Like that.
Yeah. Like I was reading it, I went from to. Oh, okay.
I got the monopoly on pain.
Like I love the way they were like studying. They were like, "We know, we feel it. You got to
take me with you.
Take me with you with angels with black wings and all of this, just corny bullshit." Dressed like Boy George going to Diana's funeral.
I loved it though.
It was so fucking 2000s.
I've worn a bowler hat to a funeral before.
Fucking, what's it? Fresh from Town. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god,
It was
Lucy's
all
Lounge.
of that. And then the mother just shoots them down so fucking quickly.
It is, it's really sad. It actually
She's
gave
like-
me a big Alex Kittner's man from Jaws energy.
Oh yeah, because like it was a sobering reminder. It was like, he's not flying with angels or this. He's in a pinewood box.
Actually, lady,
Dead.
you're wrong, because the implication of
Oh no,
Jennifer...
he says rosewood box.
an overpriced rosewood box.
Yeah.
But like, she could be wrong, because the implication of Jennifer implies hell, and hell implies heaven, and heaven implies angels.
True, but I'm not thinking about it that hard.
No, I think anytime shit like that happens, anytime, like, The Exorcist implies that God is real.
True.
You know, or like the Conjuring implies that Jesus of Nazareth was nailed to a cross and everything like that was canon. I don't care. Anytime you imply, like, I'm always up for implication.
Okay.
It's the implication of God. But that's enough for
Okay,
me.
yeah.
Shut the fuck up. But
I would actually scream if you did hit that mic.
I want to know what that sounds like. But
yeah, it's just a very sobering reminder, because again, right up until this point, I suppose the whole kind of understanding was that even the last time when Jonas was dying, his dad was the one that was like, "Oh, cut off your balls and nail to my door." And this was one of those moments where, like,
it's sad.
it is sad. It's upsetting. You're looking at it going like, wow, like, fuck, she really said that. Like,
There's always something
you know.
really, like, gut punchy about seeing, like, a parent or, like, react to, like, a child's death or vice versa, you know, in a movie.
Well, you see, I mean, like, it's, what's his name? Theoden from The Lord of the Rings says it so very clearly. It's like, no parent should have to exercise their child's funerary rites.
Yeah.
It's like, we should go long before them and all of this, because it's a sense of hopelessness that I don't think the young crowd would ever understand.
I was ready to go first. It was always supposed to be me.
It's that type of moment where, like, you can very easily lose hope in that way, because that is a very hopeless situation. Because the whole
Well,
point
that's
of
supposed to
having
be, like, the
kids
natural
is
thing.
they're the purpose of your adult
future.
life. They are your future.
Yeah.
You know, and like once that's gone, I mean, Jesus Christ, what do you have left? You know.
Or do I always think when seeing in movies and stuff when
But it shuts
like-
up those goth kids straight up.
I know,
was
they're
like,
first-
oh my
oh.
god, they're just like, oh.
I always think like the opposite of that. It's like when the parent dies. It's like, okay, well, now you're the
sole remainder.
you're the current generation. You're the next one that people have to live up to.
Yeah.
Which is so weird. I feel like that's always such like a scary thought, that it's like, okay, now you're the one that people have to turn to. Like there's nobody before
Beyond,
you left.
yeah.
You know. Oh, did you
What the
hear
fuck
that?
was that?
Jesus, I haven't eaten
Is that
today.
is that your little incubus coming out of
I'm
you?
hungry. Yeah.
You made me ink.
Incubus hungry. Yeah. Incubus want the bottle.
So the next scene is obviously Jennifer showing up to Needy's bedroom, and what the ever living fuck?
Okay.
Rude. So this is our.
This is the moment. This is high
the
gay.
moment where I got a fucking massive boner.
So did I. Honestly, it's really hot
It's
though.
really hot.
because it's really like intimate as well. It's
Yeah.
kind of Cruel Intentions in that
Yes.
way.
Yeah, I was yes.
expecting the little line of spit to still be connected to the
Yeah,
lip,
yeah.
you know.
Oh.
But like, so Jennifer is. Oh, but she's also wearing her Evil Dead shirt, which I always thought was kind of cool. You know. But yeah, this is where we get Jennifer like is trying to explain the situation to Needy, where she's kind of just like, right, okay, here's the fucking deal, which I kind of wondered like why Jennifer didn't just say that to Needy in the first place.
Yeah, she was like, when I'm full. That's when like Needy's ears prick up.
What do you mean
Like,
full?
what do you mean full? Yeah.
You know, filled with cummies. But but yeah, so she's kind
Just so chock full of God's love.
of. This is where we see like what actually happened to Jennifer that night. You know?
Yeah,
this is like
that's
where
when
we get all the explanation.
we get the flashback within the flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love this though. And then Jennifer is she's like flirting with Needy, and she's like she takes off her glasses and like pulls out her ponytail or whatever. It's like, whoa, suddenly you're beautiful, whatever.
Lesbians.
You know,
We're all thinking it. I wasn't. I was.
But this is where Jennifer...
I go both ways.
She's not... I remember that being in the trailer as well. I go both ways. But, like, this is where she, like, turns the charm on. But, like, the literal, like, enchantment kind of thing where she, like, can pull Needy to her. And Needy is, like, super into it all of a sudden, you know? And this is
a great
just, like,
deflector from being like, oh, fuck, she's gonna catch on to me type deal.
Exactly. It's like Jennifer could just do this forever and
Just
get away
make
with
me
it.
horny, you know? Get away with it.
Also, there's like a weird telepathic link between Needy and Jennifer. Needy gets like visions. Like when her and Chip are fucking, that's actually directly paralleled with her and Colin. And Needy sees blood like drip from the ceiling, and then she sees Jonas. Very that. Then she sees Jonas, and then she sees that shot with Jennifer hunched over.
Fucking spider.
And she freaks out, but this is how she can tell that stuff is happening. This is like they both split from their sex scenes and wind up in Needy's bed. But this makeout shot is so hot because it's literally right up against their lips, but it's not straight up making out at first.
The tongues are just
they're
like...
just like caressing
just
each other's
putting
lips and stuff, you know. It's so hot. And then like that's the thing is like, but see that's the thing is like I'm gay as fuck or whatever like that, but it's like intimacy is intimacy. This shit is sexy, bro.
It is hot. It is hot.
And then they're just like rolling all around, and then it's like Jennifer like throws her legs up around Needy and she's like stroking arms and shit like that, and Needy's like, what the fuck is happening? Which is weird because I feel like Needy is like borderline like a medium or something in this movie, where she's the only one that's able to snap out of it. Like everybody else is in her thrall. Which is kind of typically like a classically vampire kind of thing where you can like kind of cast a glamour on somebody to... That's sign language for glamour, I guess. But somebody can like kind of cast a glamour on you and like pull you to them, you know, and you can't get out of it. But Needy is able to snap out of it, you know?
Yeah.
And she basically like kicks Jennifer out, but Jennifer's just like, fine. It's that gif of the dude throws up juices and disappears.
Yeah.
You know? Where she just like hops the fuck out the window.
Yeah.
It's very Twilight. You know.
This is the skin of the killer Bella.
The acronym for that is tit soak.
Really?
Yeah. This is the skin of a killer. It's tit soak. That's a thing. And that's a thing in the Twilight community. You would know if you were there. Get into it, bro. The Twilight community is thriving still. I know hella people online that have tit soak tattoos.
Cool.
That's a joke between me and Megan. It's the skin of a killer. Wait till you see me at the lake on Sunday. I have plans. Fenty highlighter,
is the moment,
bro. Fenty highlighter and some body lotion.
It is what it is.
Nobody's gonna believe you. He just gaslights her for that whole movie.
True. It's so true. The sort of like lukewarm, hot, cold, yes or no type deal that he has is like giving her whiplash.
She's like, look, I saw you run from that side of the parking lot to over here, and he's like, nobody's gonna believe you.
But everyone else saw you do it too.
Also in that second movie, he's like, okay, bye, I love you, but also I'm just gonna leave you here in the woods.
Yeah, straight up left her
walk me
next
home
to werewolves.
Seriously, walk me home. You knew they were here. You didn't know that one of them was obsessed with me.
And you also know that there is a vampire currently looking for her too.
What an asshole. Oh, the New Moon, there's scenes in that book that are really creepy.
Yeah, true.
Like where Victoria is like rooting through her house and shit like that. That really creeped me out. I remember reading that at like 2 a.m. and being like, ooh. It is because she's like lingering over her dad and she's like going through her laundry and stuff like that to like get her scent. That always creeped me out. But let's stop talking about Twilight.
So prom.
So Jennifer's body.
This prom, the way like Through the Trees becomes a thing for like the school as a motto, an unofficial motto.
They've become like the heroes,
the deaths of everything, and stuff. And it's just
they've decided to release it as a a charity single or whatever like that.
Yeah.
They're doing they're giving 3% of the proceeds to Devil's Kettle,
to Devil's Lake.
Well, like the fact that Needy's like 3%, that's a bit crass, and everybody's like, shut the fuck up.
There are local heroes.
Seriously.
Fucking what was Needy Lesnicki.
I love it though. Yeah,
that
her name is
racist.
Anita, but it's like, but she like people are wearing like low shoulder merch and stuff like that, you know, which I totally would have worn. It's literally like, but there's so many instances of like a black t-shirt with like a long sleeve white
You
t-shirt.
don't wear
underneath.
plaid at night. You don't. Unless you live in Reno.
And you
And you
eat
eat
cigarettes.
cigarettes. Who
You wear
does
sequins
that?
during the day.
Oh, don't I. Oh.
But I love
I'm
this.
just adding a low, chunky heel.
Gross.
Yeah, great.
You look
Low,
dumpy,
chunky
real
heel
thick.
to make you look real thick.
Needy is wearing like the most 80s prom.
Fuchsia,
It's
pink.
so good.
Oh, it's so funny. And
Oh,
like,
her
the
mom is
fact
played
that
by Amy
she's-
Sedaris.
I didn't realize it was Amy Sedaris until she walked up, and I was like, I recognize that
I'm a
voice.
Ford
from that. I
tough
was like,
mama
oh,
bear.
shit.
Well, she's in like 2 scenes, you know, and she's like, I was having a night terror. And she's like, I don't think it's a night terror, it's 4 p.m. You
She's
know?
like, was it more of a day terror?
she's in it for like 2 seconds, but it's Amy Sedaris
Yeah.
for no reason, but it's so good. You
I
know?
love it. I enjoy it. But she's also wearing these, like, what is it? Door knockers, garage doors.
Oh,
the eyeliner or the eyeshadow.
garage door,
She's
yeah.
wearing garage doors. So fucking. And,
For
like,
the layman's out
80
there, that's just when you have one eyeshadow from brow to lid, straight across, which I think is kind of a look. But
See, I'm down with the kids. I know the drag lingo.
it's nearly always blue eyeshadow as well.
Yeah.
But she looks so cool
She
though.
wears sort of emerald green.
It's
shadow.
like she's literally giving Trixie Mattel's finale look from season 7, where it's like this big pink, like Heatherette kind of moment. It's kind of fashion.
It is.
Like if she wore that now, it's very like kind of haute couture.
Hoot couture.
But like you also do fully get
It's
the sense
giving
that, like,
haute glue.
that was such a stupid read as well, you know. But I do live for it though. But like you do kind of also get the sense that like she didn't buy this,
No, she
or
made
that it was like
She
her
definitely
mom's or
made it.
something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the 80s prom dress for her. Yeah.
Oh, and she's got a ferret. She's got a white ferret called Spectre.
Do you want some bologna?
That's
Spectre?
so cute though, you know. She drops the whole sandwich on the floor. But yeah, so this is kind of like
5 seconds,
where
dude. That's cool.
this movie, like, you would think it wraps up here. I do like that we do get like a slight continuation on at the end, you know. But she like kind of breaks up with Chip Needy to kind of protect him.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and he's like, I already ordered your corsage. It's an orchid. It was like $12. It's so stupid.
Oh, do you know what is funny is when the goths enter the gymnasium and they start popping
This is my
balloons.
hope, my dreams, your abortion, and your other
This is your
abortion.
abortion. Pops a balloon. This is your other abortion.
I fucking
Pops
hate
another.
you. Oh my god! And just before this, Needy doing research, which is such a parody moment, though. where
I
she's like,
fucking hate. Yes, just
We were in the-
Google search. So I was in the occult section of the
it's like our library has
library.
an occult section. It's very small, but like that.
But I found all the information I
But
needed.
that always makes me laugh. That we do get what's your man's name? The guy that you love, Wayne Barlow.
Wayne Barlow showed
get-
up. I was
yeah,
like,
we get some
holy
of his-
shit!
we get some of
That
his
was
work.
so cool. And the other one,
The Kitskitsky.
Bekshinsky.
Yeah, there you go.
Zoldemir Bekshinsky.
There you go.
I was so fucking excited, but I also looked at it going like, wait.
None of those have anything to do
No,
with
no,
Succubus
it's
at all.
anything to do with that.
But it was cool. It was a cool little comment, though. I made it
Yeah.
out of you when that popped
I was
up.
like, oh my god, that's so cool. Wayne Barlow was on the track. I'm like, yeah.
But it always makes me laugh, though, where, like, in movies like this, where, yeah, I'll just go to the library and find exactly the thing that I need.
Or you just fucking Google search and
well,
you find all the answers.
They got their, like, ritual off Google.
Yeah,
You know,
it was
he, like,
found
pulls it
yeah,
out.
dude,
It's like-
found it on Google.
It's so stupid. But no, like, even in Carrie, she finds out about telekinesis through her school library. You know, she gets books on telekinesis, you know.
From a public school library.
So in the 70s. So stupid. But, like,
MK Ultra, of course.
so everything is kind of like culminating, and everybody is starting to like get ready for prom or whatever, and like
I love how Jennifer is just straight up like falling apart at this stage.
Mac face and body by the handful.
Yeah.
This is also another really, really iconic scene where she's just like
Caking it on.
slapping, and this is a thing that girls used to do. I don't know how, but like I've been wearing makeup for a long time now, but I was never ever a foundation with the hands kind of thing. Apparently it's a good technique because your hands warm up with the product
Finally,
and
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
but like I was never let me pour my MAC face and body into my hand and rub it on my face. But I don't know, that's a really iconic shot for me now with her
Yeah.
just like smearing
and
it
she's
on.
like tearing up, and she's got like red puffy
wearing
eyes,
off.
and like she's I think she looks more gaunt as well, like sickly.
Yeah, she hasn't eaten
during it.
since Colin.
Yeah, exactly. She hasn't eaten since eating out Colin.
But I don't know. I think she looked kind of hotter as like this, like
As
kind
the
of
broodier
gaunt,
kind of thing.
pale
Yeah.
chick.
It's more model.
But it is. It's giving fashion because
Yeah.
she's like, my hair is lifeless and dull, and it's like, what are you fucking talking about? You have this like 42-inch black like human hair.
Yeah.
You know, you look great.
Yeah.
You're just pale.
Also, when they get into this pool situation, like, why the fuck has that not been like...
This straight up Abe's Odyssey like fucking soundtrack,
Right?
or like the like sound effects are hilarious.
How that like just goes from being like, you know, this is public school for everyone, and then just to this abandoned pool area. I just looked at it and went like,
Like, it looks like a horror movie.
yeah.
You know?
Oh, it does. I mean, like, it's the penultimate moment, shall we say?
It's a great set piece, though. I think it
It
looks
is.
really
It's
fucking
beautiful.
cool.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes
Black
back to like
water,
her in the
everything.
water earlier, you know, where now there actually is like a good bit of making of for this movie, and they were saying that like this particular bit of set dressing was like really fun, but it's like it looks almost post-apocalyptic, where there's like tree roots growing up out of it, and it's on the school grounds.
It's it's on the school pool. It's the school pool, yeah.
You know? And there's like wildlife living in it and shit. But they get there. Actually, no. Before this, Chip is walking to the dance, and we actually get this really cool shot of her, kind of like a ghost, like behind him, where she kind of just like, I don't know. It's like they speed up her movement, but it doesn't look stupid. Like I usually find that kind of distracting in movies. She kind of just like phases closer to him, you know, and she's like, she's convinced him kind of that like that like Needy was fucking Colin, but she's turned on that thrall again, where she gets Chip in her grasp or whatever, yeah. And Chip is kind of pulling away from it or whatever like that, which like in a sense is like, is this rape? Is this sexual assault?
You know what? I am a firm believer that, hey, when it's rape, it's rape. You know.
What a fucking sentence! Hot take. Rape is rape, guys. Rape bad.
My point being, regardless of the gender, if someone isn't consenting to it,
I don't mean because he was a guy,
simple.
but I mean because like she has him in his thrall. Like anytime like Dracula or something like it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's rape.
yes,
You know? So like, sorry, I can't get over that, guys. Like,
Right.
look, to me,
Rape is rape.
rape is rape. Good old American rape. Sorry.
Homegrown American rape.
A classic. Sorry, that's so hard. But yeah. So they're kind of making out, and then she like he's like, look, he wants to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like it's him that he brings her to the pool. Yeah, well,
No,
she pool.
brings him.
He suggests to go somewhere else, though.
No, he's unconvinced of this.
No, he's like, let's do this somewhere else.
No.
Bitch, yes.
I want the receipts.
As
Show
the
me.
resident
Show
Jennifer's
me.
body expert,
God, you're butch.
look. I mean, look at the material. You know, only one of us is wearing Jennifer's Body's merch. I'm just saying.
Not even Jennifer's Body's merch. It's Fangoria merch.
And Jennifer's right there.
And Gina Radio.
Oh, we didn't even say the movie is named after the whole song.
Oh yeah.
That's right. It kind of pissed me off that they didn't play it at the end. I mean, we do.
Would have been 2 on the nose, I think.
We do get my favorite whole song though, at the end, but Violet.
What?
We get my favorite whole song at the end. It's the one that plays like as Needy is going through her thing or whatever. But yeah, they go to the pool, and she like Needy has like a vision, or like she rubs her lips as her and Chip are making out. It's like, what is that? Like, what's the deal with
I don't
Needy?
know. I get the idea or the certain sense that because they're so close to each other that
They're blood sisters.
yeah, like it gives off like, is it because she sucked the AIDS off her hand?
I think that's what it is.
Like AIDS.
No, but yeah,
AIDS. Yeah.
that's what everybody doesn't know. AIDS is terrible, but on the upside, you do get telepathy.
Mental
through it.
telepathy.
Yeah. Nobody actually talks about that. Gay's best hidden secret. You know?
The medication, kind of like
It dulls it down.
Dulls
It's
it
like
down.
The Shine.
Yeah.
But it's the gay shining, the glittering or whatever.
The glittering.
The glistening. But so Needy
sashaying. Sachet for deals.
So I was gonna call her Wendy. Sorry,
Wendy.
I have Shining on the brain. So Needy like books it out of the prom or whatever and gets to.
You wear my ring, Sandy.
Oh God. He elbows the fuck out of her in there. He also tries to rape her in that
Fucking
movie.
dislocates her shoulder in that scene, man.
What, Danny? Fucking no! I'm not gonna have fucking sex with you. I'm like 13. But also you've treated me like shit this whole movie, you loser.
You pussy ass bitch.
The entire fucking point of that movie is like, look, if you want to
Don't be yourself.
Exactly. If you want to fall in love with somebody, you just change everything about you.
Everything about you.
You know?
Or compromise. I mean, like, you could always.
It's not
walk
compromise. She literally becomes a different person. And so does he. He becomes a jock and she becomes a greaser.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
It's true. It's true.
It's like, or you could just love me.
Yeah. For who I am and what I am.
The thing is, don't listen to your friends.
True.
And don't have sex with Kaneki. Oh, he would though, yeah.
Oh, baby.
Less things I could
Anyway,
do than eat my friend's boyfriend in a pool.
Or two.
Oh, it's so good. It's so. This is also like I think like one of the funniest scenes in the movie, but also one of the most horrific. Where it's like I this movie is like my favorite brand of horror comedy, where it's perfectly mixed. I don't think I could like classify this as one or the other exclusively. Like I think comedy and horror are this movie's primary genres. You know,
So what happens in it?
So Needy runs over and gets to the pool, and because she hears Chip screaming or whatever, but she kind of like intuitively knows something that's going on, and Jennifer's just it's this shot where Jennifer just throws back, and this is where we fully get to see her in like kind of demon form with just like this huge like maw, you know, and it's like all these teeth and like and she's still gorgeous. She's in this like Chanel like white with like black ribbon, like full opera length glove with like
I love it. It's fashion.
It is
it's fashion.
It's
darling.
gorgeous, and she's
fashion.
And like the soaking wet hair and everything. Like she still looks really really good.
Streamline,
Thin model. And Chip is kind of like Chip is already dead basically, but like
yeah, he did say he was dead until he heard her
it's so
calling
cute,
her some bullshit
you know?
like that.
They're so sweet, you know.
Sprays that
Chip, you're
bitch.
a penis cheese. Oh, that little girl Camille, what a bitch. But so Needy like she does this like really really quick little prayer or whatever like that, and then just like nosedives into
Just
the pool
leaps into that nasty ass
in a gown. Do you know how hard it would be to swim in a gown?
black water.
Have you ever seen chicks like jump off a boat in their wedding dress or whatever like that? And it's like she's gonna drown because a gown just pulls straight up around you. Okay.
You know from experience.
No, for real though, there's that video of this chick online and her husband, they got married in like Mexico or whatever, and she's in like a huge wedding gown, and she jumps into the water, and it's like all the fabric just pulls straight up around you, and you can't breathe through fabric. I mean, obviously you can't breathe in the water, but you can't like swim through fabric, so she's drowning, and everybody has to like pick her up out of the dress, or she's gonna die. Also, did you see that video of that 18-year-old in the Bahamas that jumped off the party cruise and fucking died?
No,
Got eaten by sharks or something.
I want to see that.
You just disappear. I'll show you afterwards. It's actually so grim.
What isn't grim is the banter that goes back and forth between Needy and...
Oh, it's so good.
It's just so fucking funny.
I think this is like maybe my favorite scene, or like it's like the most well written.
Yeah,
I think like the dialogue.
The back and forth between the two of them is just hilarious. Like they go for the low blows, and then they go for the high blows, and then they resolve in a weird way.
I will eat your soul and shit it out like a gay. It's that's like the most evil deadline that we get in this movie.
I think you find it hard for you to swallow, considering you've been eating laxatives since you're fucking 15.
I also fully love the fact that like a demon is like,
How dare you?
talk to me like that, you know. But her
offended.
Her and Needy are like, oh no, it's like she gets up out of the pool, like Needy is getting Chip out of the pool, and she floats up, and he's like, she can fly, and she's like, she's only levitating, it's not that impressive. You know?
She's like,
you have to undermine everything I do. So her and Needy are like just like reading the fuck out of each other, and then Chip just stops the fuck out of her with like a pool scoop or whatever the fuck it is, like a pool net. But even her reaction is so country though. She's just like, ow. And she pulls it out and throws it out of her, and she's like, you got a tampon?
She goes, you got a tampon? She goes, no. And she goes, just thought I'd ask.
Plugging.
I hope you might be plugging.
But then Jennifer, this shot always made me laugh because she like crawls up to the window and then she just like
disappears out of the window again.
Like she doesn't jump like a person. It's like she's one solid object that just gets like moved that way, you know. And then Jennifer just goes home.
Yeah,
but Chip dies, and it's actually really sad.
It is because like he's just like, I heard your voice.
I'm going someplace.
Yeah.
You emo, shut up.
He just starts humming through the trees.
Oh, I do love how like that song is like so permeated throughout this movie. Like even at the start, before we find out what the song is, when she's in her cell, which is another great shot. There's an X on her, like she's been X'd out. That's a whole thing with her and Jennifer. Is like, I'm Xing you out. But like when that door slams, it like coincides with her screaming, and she's got a great scream, and she's just like, I don't know, just like female rage in movies always makes me like, yeah, like fuck yeah. And then through the trees, but like elevator music style starts playing, you know, it's like torture for her. But she goes home and she like gets ready for battle. Needy like puts on her docks, on her trackies, and the mittens with the fold back mitten part, so they're fingerless gloves underneath. Oh my god, it's so 2009. and a box cutter.
Yeah.
Do you know what this is for? It's for cutting boxes. Do
you buy all your murder weapons from at Home Depot? God, you're butch.
Which means also like gay. But yeah, Needy is like, this is another like jump scare that like low-key kind of got me or whatever like that. Where like I knew Needy was going to be at the window again because I've seen the movie a million times, but she jumps through it and it just made me kind of like, oh, which is so stupid. Those are the kind of jumps that get me for some reason, where it's like they're like the ones you like don't expect. They're like not even set up as jumps. But this fight is fucking cool.
It's like borderline The Exorcist meets WrestleMania meets Heathers. You know, like the bitching back and forth. Oh, it's so good.
My tit. You know? But it's that shot where Needy gets on top of her and she like
cuts the X on her.
Yeah, but she goes into like the cross pose and she just floats up with Needy on top of her, and I'm like, damn, that's actually kind of an impressive stunt to do though, because then they flip over.
Oh
they're doing all that in midair, and all of this is practical again.
Yeah,
you know, it's like really, really well shot. But Needy cuts the X in her stomach, and it's like healing up straight away or whatever. And then when she pulls off the Biff necklace and throws it, for some reason that shot I always thought was really cool. Where like it flies through the air, but then when it hits the ground, it does this like circle thing. Like how many times do they have to do that to get that shot?
But I think
really
that was the nail in the coffin for Jennifer, because she's just like, I've done it now.
No, you have nobody.
You've got nobody because, well, first of all, you're immortal so long as you feed, but like you have driven away the last person that would have really fought for you. Yeah. And the fact that you like, because it's also a very petty thing to like go back at Needy through Chip. Yeah. And well, that's like, she calls her out on it. It was like, that's you had no other choice to do anything better or do anything more responsible, but just go for the petty.
You only wanted him because I had him.
Exactly.
You know, that's why she takes Colin earlier. Is because Needy was like, I think he's cool, and then she's like, wait, and then calls Colin back. It's like to get at Needy. But then she just stabs her right through the fucking tit, and it's like that line.
Tit.
My tit.
I always thought she said, "Am I dead?
Am I dead?
Am I dead?"
And then her mom walks in.
Yeah, she's straight up like.
I love that Needy's just like just lying beside her for a few minutes before she just dips. Like she just gets the fuck out of there. You know, but it's sad because like Jennifer, you kind of get the sense that like, because when Jennifer is hungry, you kind of get the sense that like that's Jennifer. You know, that she's kind of like contemplating things and she's like thinking about whatever. And then you see the fact that like when she's dead, it's like, fuck, bro, she was kind of the victim in a way.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Like,
now Jennifer
I don't.
is completely dead.
I see it's just her just being the victim of the circumstances that was presented to her, and then like that. Unfortunately, the way it sort of panned out just ended up being the worst for her and the people around her. Like it's just,
Like, she was
just
a bitch. She wasn't evil.
Yeah. I always seen her as like a Regina George character, but just.
Because even at the end of Mean
Eats
Girls,
men.
Regina George is like humanized. She's it's like you see why she acts like that. Like, it's the whole thing of like nobody's really evil for no reason or whatever like that, or like everybody always has some weird insecurities that like make them do whatever. But you also see Needy being like, "Fuck, dude! Like that was my best friend."
Yeah.
You know, and now that's like gone. You know, but everything is gone. You know, but also I get the impression that at the end of this, Needy is the reason why Needy is in the sanitarium that she's in is because all the murders have been pinned on Needy.
Oh yeah, it's that same process of like, well, how do you explain that, you know, is a fucking demon and all that kind of thing, you know? Like, there's no way you can get out of that.
That's the thing that always gets me at the end of movies like this, is like, okay, well, all your friends are dead. No, it wasn't a zombie boy that popped up out of the lake, you know, or whatever it is, you know. What did we just go and see? Or I just went to go see Evil Dead again with Emma and Lindsay, and Emma was like, what are they going to tell people? You know, all the people in their building are dead, and she walks out onto the street with a chainsaw covered in blood, and her sister and two nieces and nephew are just spewed all over the garage. What are they going to tell the police? And it's like, I always think about that. How do you explain that without just completely getting
You're
fucking...
just going straight to prison.
But we
Like
find
Needy
out
does.
that Needy, this is also a really great shot where Needy is explaining to us that like, if you are bitten by a demon and survive, you like retain some of their power. And we get that shot of her like, it's kind of like meditation where she's kind of like levitating, like cross-legged.
She's practicing presence.
It's so cool though, because she's just floating
She's
up.
just thinking the whole time, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather.
Very
stiff as a
that.
board.
And again, she's a kicker. She kicks out the window and she just gets the fuck out of there. Now we get a very weird, a random cameo in this movie. Lance Henriksen.
Lance Henriksen. Yeah.
Because I totally forgot about that. But then I remember like she gets into some dude's car before he pops up on screen. I was like, Lance Henriksen is in this movie for like 2 seconds. What the fuck? You totally know that was like a favor to somebody on the movie or something like that, though.
It was just like, give me $50 and I'll why not?
Give me a couple smokes or whatever.
Yeah. Give me a really good coffee, and I'll show up on time.
And then she's like, I'm following this rock band. You know, it's such a cheesy
It'll be
line.
their last performance.
It was so cheesy.
Yeah.
But I do love
You're
that.
so
like,
lime green cheesy, you don't even know it.
but I do love though that like Needy does get her revenge. You know, but also Needy is now low-key like a superhero in a way, like in the same way Blade is. You know, she's like a half demon now, but like
does she also have to consume blood now?
I don't think so, because it's like she only gets a portion of her power. So I get the sense that she can like levitate, or like maybe it's like a little bit stronger. But we get this like montage at the end to
she's not floating, she's just levitating. It's not that impressive.
But we got this like montage to Violet by Hole.
Oh yeah.
And she goes to the hotel where Low Shoulder is staying. We get the montage of them like being famous and like doing like drugs and like breaking jars of Skittles.
Sorry, can you say that again for the
doing drugs, like throwing jars of like quote unquote rock star
like
shit or
doing
whatever.
Doing
a weed, snorting a weeds.
That's crazy.
But just like throwing jars of like Skittles against the wall and like breaking TVs and trashing hotel rooms, and then
like the rock gods that they are,
and there's just these flashes of like blood and like then it's a crime scene. Oh, it's so good. I thought it was so cool.
And he gets the knife to the stomach, the main guy, which I love.
She gets the Bowie knife or whatever.
Bowie, cool.
So stupid. Now that band is actually a real band, minus Adam Brody. The guy who he interacts with the most is actually the real lead singer of that band. Who I'm pretty sure did the vocals, because it's not Adam Brody singing. Because he's so obviously lip syncing in the movie the whole time.
Oh yeah.
But Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then it just like ends on this like zoom in from CCTV footage of Needy,
Which
where
she's
she
got
kind of
these
looks,
slight like glowing in the eyes.
I was gonna say she looks like a demon because she's it's like a white eye with just a pupil. You know, she also kind of looks like an alien or something like that. They like
You look like an alien.
they give her like a big head. I do not look like a fucking alien. I
You
look
do.
stunning, like Lisa Marie Presley in Mars Attacks. I look fucking hot.
Well,
Only one of us is wearing a hoodie. Get out of my fucking house. But yeah, dude, I fucking good
Great
choice.
movie.
I fucking love this movie so much.
I think it's appropriate to start Pride Month.
Wait a minute.
Happy Pride. So, what are we doing next week? We're continuing Pride Month.
Yay, we're doing Sleepaway Camp.
We're doing Sleepaway. This is also another one. It's like Jennifer's Body. It was one that we've been waiting to do for quite some time.
Because we always kind of thought of the idea and then it was like, no, fuck it, we'll save it for Pride Month.
Yeah.
You know, but like that, it only comes once a year. And with that, we only get 3 movies that we can choose from a year for Pride Month.
And the weird thing about it is that list is dwindling.
It is. I feel like we'll eventually get more. Like we have Freaky and stuff like that that's come out since.
Yeah.
Which is technically only queer because there's a body swap, but they get into like pronouns and stuff like that in that movie and like
they them
shit like that, you know. Oh my god, I love Sleepaway Camp too. I actually had both of them last night as a double feature. 2 movies that I like actually would watch like often enough.
Yeah.
You know,
You
Nathan,
would.
get out of here! But no, Sleepaway Camp is another favourite of mine.
So in case you're wondering, next week's Sleepaway Camp,
it's only queer at the very end. You know? Literally the last frame is what makes it queer.
yeah, but Dylan Mulvaney is also in it.
I'm so happy you read on that too, though. She literally looks exactly like her, though.
But I think, do you know what really sells it is that.
That wouldn't do it at all. Okay, how often do I quote that, though?
Yeah, a lot.
That wouldn't do it at all.
So
in fact, there's a whole bag.
So you've been listening to
Theyre Here
podcast.
Oh, my scalp is so itchy. I got myself a chemical
It
burn.
is?
Yeah.
Oh, is that why you're wearing the wig, Loretta?
Well,
One tap babies. Anyway, so make sure to like, subscribe, follow us on the Instagrams. The deets are there. The Delia deets are there. And for some daily updated content.
bye.
Bye.